Easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out, watch your entry update in real time, and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. PrizePicks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code primetime for a 100% deposit match. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at even bigger basketball wins. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BET1580. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BET1580. The crown is yours. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Don't let your kids get fooled by the people they meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but those strangers are using their relationship to deal drugs to your kids. If you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Find resources at talknowaz.com. Don't let your kids get fooled. Talk to them. And visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
Here we go.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Halloween. Yep, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He's at the Weatherman's Convention. Keon Rose is in the control room, though, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And we have so many things going on with the NBA and with, of course, the World Series. But the first thing right off the top, oh, Donnie. Oh, my God. Oh, Donnie. Oh, Donnie.
Which thing are you laughing at? Because at this point, in Minnesota sports, there are many directions to go.
Well, I'm going to start with the fact that the Vikings have made a trade with the Arizona Cardinals for NoHo Hank. That's right. Josh Dobbs is heading to the frozen tundra where the fact he has little hair is going to matter. He's really going to feel it. I'm just saying. And I just doesn't, I don't think this makes sense. You saw Josh Dobbs lose every game but one for 8 weeks. And you lost, who is a good quarterback, Kirk Cousins. You know, he's Kirk Cousins.
And to be fair, the Kirk Cousins they had this year, year's Kirk Cousins. Yeah, this was a great year for him.
And so they lose him. He is officially now on the IR. And they're like, well, hey, Cardinals, if you're not going to use that Josh Dobbs, we could use him. Really? I had heard stories about Colt McCoy maybe heading to the Vikings. But okay. So, but then you look over at the Arizona Cardinals. Now you have no Josh Dobbs. You've got a quarterback who's supposed to be coming back soon, who was hurt and is a big question mark. And then Clayton Tune. Wow. Clay Tune and Kyler Murray. Yeah, Jonathan Gannon says, hey, don't worry. We will add another quarterback. Why did you get rid of the one you had?
Well, because the team called and said, hey, we'll trade you for him. And they're like, okay, he's not exactly in our future anyway.
Did they have a quarterback to give back? Because now you don't have enough quarterbacks.
Yeah, but you're
going to have to hire a quarterback. You can't trade for one now. The deadline was 11 a.m. Our time this morning.
They don't need to trade for a quarterback.
Who?
They're A, already tanking, and B, this is the segment of the season where we kick the tires on Kyler Murray and see what's there.
Yesterday I said, show me you're tanking without saying you're tanking. They're like, we're benching Josh Dobbs. And today, wow, you don't need to show me you're tanking. You've traded away Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs was at least a professional. At least he was functioning. At least he was upright. At least he had a pulse. Now you have a guy who has even less of a pulse. Clay Tune is not an improvement. And Kyler Murray, how much do you want to put him at risk, if you know what I mean?
Clay Tune's another question mark, because Clay Tune's not some bum. He's a rookie. So we don't know what he is. And, you know, they liked him a lot when they drafted him. So, you know, like there was an offense that he was playing in that was an aggressive offense. It was the air raid offense that he was playing in at Houston. And guys lately have been coming in from those offenses in the NFL and having some success. So, you know, they're looking for their answer quarterback. They take a flyer on Clayton Tune in the 5th round, I think, of that draft last year. And then you've got Kyler coming back. Figure out what's there. If there's nothing, you draft a guy. If there is, cool, you have a guy. You don't even have to draft him. Now you can use those picks on anything else.
Well, here's what they got for Josh Dobbs. So Minnesota said, we'll give you a 6th round pick, but you give us a 7th round pick and Josh Dobbs. Huh? And Arizona said, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the 6th round pick is the slightly better value there.
That was the meh-ist trade I've seen so far today.
Well, what else were you going to get for Josh Dobbs straight up?
Meh.
There was never going to be, Josh Dobbs' name is never involved in an exciting trade. And not just him, like a number of backup guys. There's just not going to be, there's nothing exciting happening there. The Cardinals are just playing the trade value game and going 6th rounder, more valuable than 7. That's it. That's the game.
Well, Dobbs seems like a nice enough guy, and I hope he does have some success. You know, I don't wish him ill. I'm just saying that this whole thing, wow, this just, you know, not helpful. Not helpful. Because what happens if Kyler Murray goes out on the field, comes back and says, ooh, yeah, I'm not ready. I need more time. And then Clay Tune is your only quarterback with no backup. Who is out there floating around in the flotsam and jetsam that the Arizona Cardinals are going to go get?
I'm sure they'll be fine with somebody off a practice squad somewhere. I mean, it's
you're right.
They're
just
tanking.
The most obvious tanking at this point.
They know what they know exactly what they're doing. It's not a secret. You know, I mean, even when they traded for Josh Dobbs in the first place, like that was the first thing I said was like, way to tell everyone on earth you're tanking. And he was surprisingly better than expected, but he still only won a game.
So what are the Vikings saying right now?
That's the part that I'm a little bit more confused by. Because
absolutely baffled by their decision here, unless they see a way that Gannon was using him that they were like, "Ooh, no, we could use him because ABC." Do they have a better offensive line than the Cardinals?
They do.
Do they have better receivers than the Cardinals?
It's about the same to me.
I'm just trying to figure out a way where
similar.
Josh Dobbs being plug and play is better for the Vikings than he was for the Cardinals.
I mean, Josh Dobbs is at least better than what they've got in Jaren Hall, where Jaren Hall is also a rookie. And I think they may let Jaren Hall go, see what he can do. But I think that, they've got other players, young players that they want to develop, that they want to get good quality reps playing football. So maybe you just ask Josh Dobbs, go in there and don't screw the thing up. We'll do the best we can around you. And that's if Jaren Hall can't do it. And if Jaren Hall, is making a bunch of rookie mistakes, he looks like Desmond Ridder or whatever the case may be, then yeah, you just go in the direction of Josh Dobbs. And at least you have a competent guy running your offense, where the young guys like your rookie wide receiver, Jordan Addison, who's been awesome, you can continue to develop that and some of the other players on the roster.
So the Vikings, they took the Cardinals' backup and made him a backup to the backup, who is now the starter.
Yeah, though I think that if they thought that if they thought Jaren Hall was going to be the answer, then they probably don't make this trade. They're probably looking at Jaren Hall and going, that guy's got a real short leash.
I guess the Cardinals have won this trade just because they're tanking, and the Vikings, I don't
know what the deal is there, because I feel like once Kirk Cousins goes down, you ought to be tanking too. You were looking at maybe
they have too many wins, I think, to be in that kind of conversation, right?
I would think that this draft is deep.
You said there's 4 quarterbacks, and having they have 5 wins, 6 wins. How many wins do they have?
I think they've got 4.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as they don't win anymore.
Yeah, do you think that they will?
Yeah, probably not. No.
Yeah, they're 4-4 right now. So
this is going to be tough, because if somebody screws around and wins a game, or doesn't win a game, I'm just saying. I guess what else did we expect anybody to do? There's no. Hey, here's this diamond in the rough quarterback who's hiding out. Look under the sofa cushions. We found one. I don't think you've got anybody coming. There's no help coming, whether it was in the trade deadline or if it's just a guy off the street. This is a tough moment right now with the injuries that we have seen to quarterbacks. So nobody had much to deal, as far as quarterbacks went.
I think even backups might have been an unreasonable, thing to ask for. Asking somebody, asking the Commanders, for instance, for Jacoby Brissett, they might not want to part with it. Just out of
I don't know. You guys are parting with everything else.
I would have personally.
The Commanders traded Chase Young to the 49ers, and then they unloaded another guy. Who's the
Montez Sweat, the other edge rusher there.
Sweat.
He went to the Bears.
The Bears. Oh, man. See, why would you do him dirty like that?
Yeah, you got one guy that's like, yeah, I'm a Niner. I could probably go to the Super Bowl this year. And then the other guy's just like, oh, man, you sent me to the bottom of the NFC North. Why would you do that?
Well, what was it for? What did they get out of it? Picks. I mean,
they got a second rounder, I think, for Montez.
For Chase Young, you got a 3rd round pick, and that was it.
Which I would like to have seen them do better on that. But Chase Young is coming off of a knee injury where he didn't play last year.
I feel like he had a better year than
he's having a better year this year. But Montez is the guy that actually played all 4 years because they both got drafted around the same time. Montez got drafted first, and then Chase got drafted a year later. Montez has played every year that he's been in the league. Chase Young has missed more time than he has played on the field. So there's injury stuff there. I do think the concerns made that pick a little bit lower.
Well, you got a 2024 2nd round pick for Montez Sweat, and you got a 3rd round pick for Chase Young. Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome to the rebuild. It's over. And I would imagine that you will no longer have Coach Rivera to kick around much longer.
I don't think that that's going to last much longer. But to be fair to trading both of those guys as well, the defense is ranked 31st. You really can't get much worse, to be honest. So you lose those 2 guys. But yeah, I from what I was reading earlier too, the the owner has hired his own people to crunch numbers, and they were the ones that decided that moving Montez Sweat and Chase Young made the most sense.
Poor Montez Sweat. Well, I mean, he probably showing up, looking around, going, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah, sure.
I guess. Sure. Donnie's on the text line, says, "I'd rather the Vikings trade for the quarterback at Gilbert High School than that bum Josh Dobbs." I don't think Josh Dobbs is a bum. I think he's not just put into an impossible situation.
Yeah, he is a backup quarterback that was asked to play half a season with a team that doesn't have a good offensive line, and when there's no James Conner in the lineup, not a good running game either.
Donnie, by the way, let me remind you, this is your fault. This whole thing is your fault because he broke his Kirk Cousins religious candle.
That's a good point.
15 minutes before kickoff. So it's completely Donnie's own fault. Sorry, Donnie. 888-368-1580. Thank you, Navy Brad, for the birthday wishes. Yes, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I've heard all of the jokes, so spare me. Thank you, Keon. Big George, thank you to you as well. Big George was at the game last night, the Diamondbacks World Series game. And how did that all go? Did your wife have the baby while you were gone? Did it go as planned, as you would hope? He says, "I'd like to formally apologize to everybody for bringing the Diamondbacks bad luck yesterday in the World Series. I'm back home in San Diego, so if the Diamondbacks win tonight and tomorrow, you know that I am a bad luck charm. Also, sorry, Donnie, for the trade you guys made today." I don't think I blame you for last night. Last night was it was a good game. It wasn't like we got killed. We're going to lose close ones. We're going to win big ones. And I think it's going to go back and forth, and this thing will go to 7 games. So I wasn't too upset or worried about last night, and we will get to the World Series here in just a little bit. Bruno Baller, thank you for the birthday wishes. Of course, I pause because I can only see the part that says happy birthday. And after that, it could be something snarky. But nope, he says, "I hope everything is well." Okay, thank you for that. I just know when I get the happy birthday from some people, I'm going to wait till the entire message loads before I start reading. Boogie says, "The Detroit Lions are winning the Super Bowl." No, they're not, Boogie. They are going to the playoffs. I'll give you that. They're one of the teams in the conversation to be a possible Super Bowl team. But after I've seen you guys struggle against what should be lesser foes, even when you win the game, I'm kind of shaking my head going, there's still a little bit of that stink of the old Lions there, isn't there?
That's just a little bit. Just a little bit.
So I wouldn't get too excited, but you can't tell a Lions fan that. They were chanting in the stadium about the Super Bowl, and it's just like, no, don't do that. If I were a Lions fan, I wouldn't be happy about that. Big Kev is on the text line. He says, "Hey, guys, Big Kev back again, going to the NASCAR Championship weekend this weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Also going to a couple of practice sessions of the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix here in a couple of weeks. Hope all is well, guys. Thoughts on my 49ers trading for Chase Young?" Well, I think they just got themselves a nice wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw Nick Bosa and Chase Young when they were at Ohio State together. Just go ahead and watch that tape and feel very happy about yourself.
Yeah, Big Kev, you should be very, very happy about that. Also, speaking of a NASCAR weekend, Big Kev, if you're in the neighborhood, and it seems like you might be, on Friday, we're going to be broadcasting live from Fry's Food Store right there in Litchfield Park, and that's at 13730 West Camelback Road. And we're going to be hanging out with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from 2 to 3 p.m. He'll be on the show for a few minutes, we think, at the start of the show. And then we're broadcasting live all the way until 6 p.m. That is this Friday. It's just a meet and greet with Daytona champion and Kroger driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So if you want to meet him, get an autograph, come on by and see us. And like I said, we'll be broadcasting live here on 1580 The Fanatic. Mr. Pringle says, "So the Commandos are tanking, right?" I think they're rebuilding. I don't know if they're going to tank intentionally.
I mean, I think that this is the beginning of the process of bottoming out. You know, I mean, you just took the two most dominant parts of your defense and traded them into two different places. So you don't believe that this thing's going anywhere. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know if the word will come down that they need to tank. So
I don't think so either, because I think if they really wanted to, they'd have just fired Ron and moved on.
Yeah, I think they do want to, though. Blissel Hayes says that Josh Dobbs trade is meaningless because the NFL is scripted. I'm just going to stop reading your text because Blissel Hayes, you're saying the same damn thing all the time. The NFL is not scripted. And it would be impossible to get all the boys in that locker room, all the men in that locker room who are fighting and working hard. And if they're not on a winning team, they're fighting hard on a losing team because they want to look good in case they need to get traded or they are looking for a contract. So there's nothing that is scripted in the NFL. It is not like the WWE.
Because when players get released, wouldn't they just spill all the secrets? Like what? Players get released and never get back into the NFL ever. With plenty of people with axes to grind. Colin Kaepernick, name a bunch of other people who just would love to hate the NFL. If you got all of those people together to tell you exactly how the NFL's been scripted in the past and show you things, then you might actually have something. You don't have anything.
Mr. Wilbur says, get off my Cardinals. We should maybe talk about your Commandos. Maybe your Colts not having a good quarterback. We're all guilty of tanking in some way, aren't we?
My Commandos have a pretty decent quarterback, sir.
My quarterback is just broken, until next year.
Yeah. So no, we're not having the same conversation. We might all be bad. That's true.
I don't mind if we do tank though to get another quarterback and then
another quarterback, or if they still think Anthony Richardson's a guy, all right, let's maybe give him a tackle or a.
None of this was the O-line's fault, by the way. Him getting hurt was not the O-line's fault.
That's true.
He was trying to be Superman like I am today with my fake abs. But he did that to himself. The O-line is not to blame in the case of Anthony Richardson. Average Joe says, oh, God, why? God, doesn't MLB have more than one home plate umpire? You ain't kidding, man. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. I'm going to put a pin in your text, and I'll read the rest of it when we are talking about the World Series. But you are correct. Beer Bob says, does that trade open the door for Colt McCoy to come back to Arizona as a backup? Maybe not QB1. Maybe. Where is he?
Maybe.
Is he on our practice squad? Where is Colt McCoy?
I don't think Colt is on any team.
Well, I think there's a reason for that. So maybe there's a reason for that. We shouldn't be worried about him.
I'm just saying, if you want a human body who can play the position, just in case things go wrong with Kyler and Clayton, which is asking a lot, then yeah, maybe.
Tijuas says, Feliz cumpleaños, Jeffrey. Thank you, Tijuas. Appreciate that. Jiggy says, happy birthday as well. And happy birthday to you, Jiggy. I think today is also Jiggy's birthday. He was perplexed why balloons were showing up on his profile. And I'm like, well, maybe it's your birthday. Jiggy gets very, very stoned. I don't know if he realizes today is his birthday. I hope by now he does. And happy birthday, Jiggy. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Rivera remaining coach is proof you're tanking, right?
Well, I personally would have just let him go after the last game. But I don't think it's proof that they're tanking. It's just proof that it's the middle of the season. Like, you're not firing Ron Rivera isn't going to fix any of the things that happened in here, because Ron Rivera was not just the head coach. He was the general manager. He hired the two top scouts, Marty Herney and I don't know, the other Marty. And they put this average team together.
Did you say you got two Martys?
Yeah, two guys named Marty.
That's too many Martys.
Yeah, it's too many Martys. That's what I said.
One is enough, and I think that's probably the root of all your problems. You got to get rid of a Marty.
The conflicting Martys.
You figure out which. I don't care. Walter Mellon says, happy birthday, Jeffrey. Bartender, give this man a shot. Scratch that. Give him a whole bottle of your finest whiskey. Thank you, Walter Mellon. I appreciate that. Listen, we have to take a break. I'll get caught up on the text line, and we'll tell you about some of the other moves in the NFL when we come back. We got the World Series to talk about, surprisingly, a lot of NBA stuff to talk about, and more of the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
It is Game 4 of the World Series tonight in Arizona as the Diamondbacks will be hosting the Texas Rangers. Texas winning 3-1 in Game 3 on Monday. Now lead that series 3-1. Corey Seager with a 2-run homer, part of a 3-run third inning for Texas. Joe Mantiply will get the start for Arizona. He's the opener. It's a bullpen game for Torey Lovullo. While the Rangers will counter with Andrew Heaney, the left-hander, was an ERA of 6 in the postseason. Texas minus a run and a half plus 150 on the run line. The Diamondbacks getting a run and a half minus 182. And the over-under at Chase Field is 9.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hi, folks. Robert Quigley here, America's Independent, Washington, D.C. We're on the road to the White House. Today, we're going to talk about Quigley Care. We're going to divide the entire healthcare system into two categories. Primary care, which is going to be free, will include things like the initial checkup, the testing, the analysis to figure out what's wrong with you. Routine diabetic care, for example, will be included in that category. Everything else that we currently have will be lumped into the secondary healthcare system. That will include things like end-of-life care, midlife accidents, midlife illnesses, etc. We are putting the focus on preventive healthcare. We're going to lower the cost all across the system. We're going to increase the number of doctors by tenfold, as well as nurses. We have medical deserts everywhere, folks. We're going to control drug prices with a basket of similarly priced drugs across the 10 top economies. Go to my website, robertquigleyforpresident.com. Donate what you can. Together, we make America work for everybody.
Paid for and approved by Robert Quigley for president. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's the sound of the fight song, the excitement of the rivalry. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl! It's the unbelievable upsets. It's the Heisman hopefuls. Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back! It's the national rankings. It's college football. The shooters right down the field. Tune in each Saturday for the college football game of the week. Listen for all the action, drama, and excitement on your home for college football. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. We got a lot going on this week. I mean, a lot. Tomorrow night, we have our first GCU game. And what time is that game on? It's on, I think it starts at 6:45 p.m. The pregame starts at 6:45 p.m. The game is at 7. So that's cool. They're playing Embry-Riddle over there at the GCU arena. So on Thursday, we got the Titans playing the Steelers. On Friday, we got Castile at Corona del Sol. On Saturday, we got the NASCAR Infinity Series Championship starting at 3:30 p.m. Sunday, we got the NASCAR Cup Series Championship starting at noon. And then, of course, for Sunday Night Football, we got Bills at Bengals. That sounds like a pretty good game right there. On Monday, we have this is something that I'm just glad we didn't tell Randy because he was going to be upset. So as you know, this is our last week of having Mondays and Thursdays where we get off at 4:30. We do an hour and a half show. and we get to go off and just whatever. We get paid the same no matter what, so it doesn't matter. We're very happy about it. Well, next week, because of the stupid time change, they keep saying they're going to get rid of it, but then they don't do it. So next week, the NFL games broadcast for us starts at 5:30. So we get to do 2.5 hours on Monday and Thursday. Well, Randy doesn't know. And what Keon is just now finding out is we can't air Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football next week, because on Monday night, where we were supposed to have the football, right? On Monday night, we're going to have to air the Raiders and Lions. No, I'm sorry. The Chargers and Jets are going to have to be. They're going to have to be on Money Radio because GCU.
That's right.
The GCU game starts at 7:45, and so the two would collide. So Money Radio will get the Monday Night Football. Then on Thursday, the AIA 6A first round for high school football, that starts at 7 p.m. So then Panthers and Bears, I don't think these are correct. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, I got all the wrong information on everything because it says here, and I'm sorry, I'm giving all kinds of bad information out. I'm looking at this week. That is next week. So no, that's right. Yeah. Panthers and Bears, that's going to be on Money Radio as well. So we got to work 3 to 6 every damn day next week. Randy is coming back from his drunken vacation, and he has no idea.
No clue. Oh, man. Poor
I saw
guy.
the pain that it inflicted on Keon when I told him.
He's walking right into the darkness. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not thrilled about it. Even though it's 2.5 hours, it's still not 3.
And hey, at least it's not worse. This is not a hard job, but we just sort of enjoy when we get away with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, it just feels good. That's all.
So, all right. So that's what's happening there. And but this week, though, this is our last normal week. So Thursday is still going to be over at 4:30. Anyway, so that's what's going on. On Monday night, the GCU is playing Southeast Missouri. That's what's happening there. So there you go. Now you're all up to date on everything. I'm sure you took notes. Good luck, and may God have mercy on your soul. Let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Boomer Sooner says, good afternoon, Jeffrey. Blender Nation. Good afternoon, Boomer Sooner. Boomer Sooner said, I knew Kansas would be a trap game. So now we'll probably fall to number 18 or something, right? Oh, well, Keon, we'll see you in the championship, buddy.
No, you didn't fall to 18. You just fell to 10. That's all.
We're going to have Keon Rose's college football recap coming up in the next hour. So
we'll get to that.
Did you just third person yourself, by the way? He did. He says, Boomer Sooner said, I knew Kansas. He just did. He just third person himself.
He did.
It's always weird when people do that.
It is, but sometimes a good third person is just fun because it throws people off.
I'm going to talk in the 8th person. I don't even know how to do that, but I'm going to pull it off. Walter Mellon says, happy birthday, Jeffrey. Bartender. I read that. Thank you, Walter Mellon. Fubar 1000 says, Jeffrey, I think Matt Ryan's still available. Go ASU. I think Matt Ryan is no longer in playing condition. Matt Ryan's not. Phil Rivers isn't. You know who has been sort of waiting around wearing multiple teams' attire all at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Carson Wentz.
How
is he not in a team?
There are a couple of reasons.
There's a lot of reasons.
I mean, all 3 of the uniforms he wears when he practices, that's one.
We know all the reasons. You and I
personally have witnessed every single reason. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Fifth letter says, who won the jersey? I might be close. By the way, Raiders suck. I'll tell you here in a little bit.
Oh my God, that was a painful game last night.
I don't think that was you, fifth letter. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't think it's you. Blissful A says, when was the last number 1 overall quarterback drafted in the NFL who won a Super Bowl? It's proven tanking does not work.
Man, every draft pick out there is a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
You're just giving yourself a chance. at
Sometimes
it.
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because you're able to get Marino doesn't mean you get a Super Bowl, but you'd rather have him than not.
That's a good question, though. Who is the last? Are you saying that? That won a Super Bowl, number one draft pick that won a Super Bowl. I don't know. Number one draft was Cam Newton on number one.
Cam Newton was a number one. He went to
the last one.
He didn't win it though. I mean,
he went to it. That's right.
Yeah, he lost to the Broncos there.
I was very happy about that for obvious reasons. So who is it? Is it Stafford? Matthew Stafford.
Eli Manning.
Oh, it was Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford was not a number one pick overall.
I thought he was actually.
Eli Manning's a good answer.
So maybe this page just hasn't been updated in a long time. But Stafford would probably, though. I guess if you're talking about, no, it'd still be Stafford, the most recent one.
Why is it not coming up on your thing there?
I don't know.
Bruno Baller says, even though I know you guys enjoy getting off early, I think the Fourth Dimension likes it when you have to stay on. Well, I appreciate that, Bruno Baller, but we don't care. we like to,
you know,
who doesn't like to get off work early?
Yeah, like it might be a fun job. It is still work. You know,
I don't know, man. Just seems like you're getting away with something.
I'd rather do this than anything else. Don't get me wrong, but
if I have to, this would be it. Boomer Sooner says, sorry, Jeff Go. I forgot. Happy birthday. What are you dressing up for? Well, I'm not dressing up for Halloween. Right now, I am wearing a Superman shirt, complete with
cape.
Yeah, I got a cape and fake abs. I got to step back so you can see them on the camera. That looks convincing, doesn't it?
It actually does. It kind of falls in the right spot.
Yeah. I think my wife is like, why don't you leave that on tonight and stand way over there? Okay. You get to my age, you got to do what you got to do. Lost Toby, lucky man, says he's on his way to game 4. Let's go. All right, Lost Toby, good for you. And listen, if you think about it, send some updates and pictures my way. I'd like to see what's going on down there. I love it when people send that kind of stuff. Pro Dog says Jim Plunkett. Well, he said the last one.
Yeah, the last one. But it's weird because that's not proof that tanking doesn't work. It's proof that when you get the quarterback, your job's not done. You still have to do other things after that.
Well, your mom, who hasn't texted in for 7 months, says it was Stafford, and there's a clown emoji.
Thank you. We got there eventually.
I think he means Stafford's a clown, not us.
I'm assuming that's what he means, which is a very mean thing to say to Matthew Stafford.
I'm not assuming that's what it means. I'm just saying that's what he means.
He's a very nice guy. Why would you say it about Matt Stafford?
Your mom. Fifth letter says, wait, let me rephrase these things. Raiders don't suck. Josh McDaniels sucks. You are correct.
Yeah, but also Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, did he really set him up for success with the play call?
There were like 3 wide open Devontae Adams.
No,
routes,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Including one that he threw 5 yards out of bounds. Just ugly.
Who sucks more, Josh McDaniels or Jimmy Garoppolo? Because we've seen Jimmy Garoppolo not suck that bad.
Yeah,
maybe he's still feeling the effects of his injury.
I guess
Josh McDaniels has no excuse.
Yeah, I think because McDaniels is a coach, the Jimmy Garoppolo, if you put him in the right system, he can be successful. Clearly,
McDaniels is clearly eating his paycheck.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't matter if you give Josh McDaniels good players. Apparently, he's just
I just called him fat. He don't look healthy at all, does he?
He doesn't.
He
doesn't look like Wink Martindale unhealthy, but it's not great.
No, nobody does. But Josh McDaniels, he's like starting to bloat, and it's like stretching underneath of his crew cut, and so now
it's like there are people who are fat, and then when they lose weight, it just looks kind of odd. He's the opposite. He's
John
gaining
Goodman.
weight, and it looks bizarre.
Drew Carey, Al Roker. I wish those guys would just gain some weight back. It's a little bit unsettling, isn't it? Hey, I know you're trying to be healthy, Mike Garadelli, but it's really just weirding us out. Could you please just gain the weight back? Or just wait till you retire, then lose the weight. Could you do that for us?
Selfishly.
I'm just saying. Bruno Baller says Joe Burrow was also drafted number 1, but he only went to the Super Bowl. He did not win. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Wait, he was drafted the first pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He was. Yeah. Woos is on the text line. Haven't heard from her in a while. Says happy birthday, Jeffrey. Thank you so much, Woos. Good to hear from you.
Oh, I got Diamondbacks breaking news.
What?
Adolis Garcia out for World Series Game 4.
See, I both love and hate that at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not.
I'm not sad. But he's not the guy who's been hitting the crazy home runs.
He was the guy that hit the game winner in Game 1.
No, I'm saying a lot of them. Yeah, he hit the game winner, but he's somebody scary. But Seager seems a bit more scary to me.
In this series, yeah. But Adolis Garcia was the monster for them for every other part of the playoff run for them. Like that's a scary dude that's no longer there. But yeah, it sucks that they're not going to be at full strength because then you get to hear excuses about. It's not like people give the Diamondbacks credit as is. So now you get to hear a million excuses on top of anything if the Diamondbacks do win anything.
Like they wouldn't be happy if Corbin Carroll or Kettle Metal, were not in. You're right. Don't act like you wouldn't. Like for me, I don't want the guy to be hurt. I want the guy in there. I want our team versus his team. May the best team win. But part of me also is like, I'm not gonna miss him.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look, it's Game 4, it's an oblique strain. We've already done this with Christian McCaffrey. We don't know how serious it is. Rest up, buddy. We might see you later in the series.
Scherzer, on the other hand, boy, that's a weird. See, Adolis, maybe he didn't stretch, but Scherzer, he just got pegged by a ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. I'm eating an orange.
That's never. I don't know. It's always, to me, the when I see a pitcher get hit by a ball like that, it's just there's no way for them to react fast enough.
Well, he spun around. At least it didn't take him like right in the crotch.
Yeah,
because that could have.
Yeah, really.
Oaktown Destroyer says, happy birthday, Jeffrey. My Raiders suck. The coaching staff, the owner sucks. They all suck. We got rid of Carr for noodle arm Jimmy Glass. Wow. That's a very accurate text. And I'm sorry. I am sorry to all the Raider fans out there. You know what? There's been moments you look at the team, you're like, finally, they're going to be back to being a pretty good team. And then no, they're not. Every time the poor Raider fans get the rug pulled out from under them. It's not like getting into a season like, well, we're going to have a tough one. This is going to stink. This is them like, hey, they actually look like they got some pieces. Hey, look what's happening. This is going to be good. No, it's not.
Yeah,
no.
And even now, they're not like a completely horrible team. It's just like the pieces that they have don't complement the thing that the coach wants to do. And the coach refuses to put anybody in a position where their talents are actually accentuated. So you just have this weird offense that's just like Devontae Adams is out there running routes like it's going out of style. He's running the best routes I've ever seen him run. And then the ball's like 5 yards behind him.
Yeah, and he's like 5 to 10 yards open, which is sad. Listen, Oaktown Destroyer, your main problem is they hired the wrong coach. Outside of that, everything would have followed. No, Garoppolo's not playing great. I'll give you that. He just came off an injury, which kind of helps explain some of that. But, if you had a real coach, a good coach, maybe you wouldn't have gone with Garoppolo. Maybe you would have been smart enough to see something else. I don't know. I'm never going to think that a team is going to succeed with Josh McDaniels. And I think after this, the rest of the NFL will finally see it the way the Denver Broncos saw it, the way the Patriots saw it, because they didn't usher Bill Belichick out the door for him, did they? No. They tried to keep him just to keep everything copacetic. That's why they put a bag of money on his desk so he would go back on the deal with the Colts. But I'm just saying, I'm glad we dodged that bullet.
He is in that Todd Bowles group of guys where I'm just like, you be coordinated.
Yeah, but Todd Bowles is likable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Players like playing for Todd Bowles, want to play for Todd Bowles, and he understands that locker room. So there are going to be seasons like this one where, they're going to win more games than you think because the guys like playing for him. You're not really going to get that out of the Raiders.
Nobody likes playing for Josh McDaniels.
People have come out and said it on numerous occasions at this point, so it's not even a secret.
Oaktown Destroyer says Josh needs his ego popped. Yeah, I guess I don't really listen to him talk because I'm so disgusted by him. So if he's a big old ego, well, that makes it even worse.
From what I've heard, it's not great.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey, Oaktown Destroyer, good luck this week. He is my opponent in the Premier League, and I've got a bye week, situation going on again. And but listen, I think he's got a stacked team. Your record is not as good as your team is. So, well, good luck to you, Oaktown Destroyer. But I hope I win. 888-368-1580. Let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll read more of your text. We'll talk more about the trade deadline. I'll kind of fill you in on the basics of. It wasn't really that fantastic of a trade deadline. It wasn't.
I mean, it is by NFL standards because the trade deadline never used to really be a thing in the NFL. But now this is more action we've seen around the trade deadline than I think we've ever seen in the sport.
Mediocre action. Nothing like woo! It was nothing crazy, But I'll fill you in when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Looking to buy a home or investment property? Maybe you've been thinking about an Airbnb or have kids going to college. Well, let me help you pay the tuition. Few agents know real estate like the team at A2 Luxury Real Estate. We are agents, investors, appraisers, and finance pros. We can help you find a home that delivers value and results. Call us at 602-888-1433 to discuss your options. That's 602-888-1433. Realty One Group.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
Did you know there are resources out there to support every Arizona service member, veteran, and their family? The Be Connected program is available statewide at no cost. We're here to help you navigate the system and get connected to whatever resources you need. Call 866-4AZ-VETS to talk directly to caring people professionally trained to help you. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. The Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. And all right, so the trade deadline has come and gone. Not tons happened, but I'll give you the rundown. I know that I don't know, Donovan Peoples-Jones went to the Lions. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they need receiver depth.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah, depth.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not bringing him to be a number one.
Yeah. The Broncos did not get rid of Jerry Jeudy, if you were curious, and they certainly didn't get rid of Cortland Sutton. There was word that the Patriots might be selling, but then everybody looked at their team and said, we're not buying. So I guess nothing happened there. Let's see. If it matters, Green Bay Packers have traded defensive back Rasul Douglas to the Bills. And not much. I'm scrolling through the hotline here. The Jaguars went and got offensive lineman Ezra Cleveland. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good pickup. Yeah.
Biggest news was the Cardinals trade with the Vikings for Josh Dobbs. I think that was it.
I would still think that it would be Chase Young to the Niners.
Jacoby Brissett did get some play today, but nothing happened.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is the Commanders were asking a lot for him because they do see him as part of Sam Howell's development and being a veteran guy that understands stuff and understands how the league works and what's expected out of a player. So I think that they'd love to have him stay. So that they asked for a lot, but I don't think anybody was desperate enough to basically do a Jacoby Brissett rental for a year, which would be unwise. That would be very stupid. So I'm glad nobody actually did it. But
yeah, that's it. I thought that the Rams might have tried to get a backup for a backup or something because of Matthew Stafford's thumb injury. Word on the street was they were looking around, but I guess they're looking around at practice squads and not looking to trade. So they have Stetson Bennett and who's the other guy? Brett Rippon.
We've seen them both play. Well, more Rippon. Stetson Bennett is new. So
if the Cardinals were competitive, this would be a good thing. You're like, thank God. And now you're like, but then what? We got nothing. Let me clean up the text line and we'll talk about what people really want to talk about. They're itching to talk about tonight's game between the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Baker's Cocky Hen says, is Garcia hurt because of all the hit by pitches? He's homered in like 5 straight games. Did he really? I guess I'm more scared of the guy who homers twice in a game. That's what I was trying to say. But is he hurt because of all the hit by pitches? Does he get hit a lot?
I mean, in this series,
he pulled a muscle on
it
that
feels
one.
like. But yeah, I think it's an oblique strain. So no, I can't believe it's the pitches that did that to him.
He just wanted it so damn bad. And that's what happened.
I mean, when he swings, he does swing like he's trying to end the baseball, like its whole existence.
That's like you said, I don't know, even Corbin Carroll, I got a little miffed at. It's like he struck out looking at one of those pitches. He struck out looking. It's like, come on, man, you're on a 2 count, man. Just hit the ball or at least give it a shot. Don't stare at it. Hope. I mean, unless it was such a convincing sinker or curve, you thought, well, that's going ball. Whoop. No, it's not. And then, of course, we're going to talk about it here in a minute. I promise. That plate umpire and both sides of the ball, man, even the Rangers should be angry about that guy, but we'll talk about it. Blissful Hay says, are the Rangers practicing load management?
No.
Like the Suns are with Booker and Beal.
The thing is, I don't know which to respond to with the Booker and Beal thing because people come in and call and make fun of the Suns for being injury prone, and then they'll also text in and make fun of the Suns for being for load management. So it's just like, which thing do you think they're doing?
Either way,
you do have
Blissful
to pick
Hayes
one.
is always going to be hating. So
yeah.
Taco Kenny says, happy birthday, Jeffrey Estoto. Thank you, Taco Kenny. Bruno Baller says, the thing about the Raiders and the Commandos is even though they're not very good right now, they both have some history to be proud of, if that means anything.
It does not.
Yeah, well, it can mean something if it's recent history. Then you're frustrated with how current history is. But if it's long past history, like it is for the Commandos,
it's like 25 years ago, man,
and a little bit for the Colts, now you're like, okay, enough. Something's got to be fixed. This is no fun to sit here year in and year out like this.
But my biggest problem with the Commanders also is just that they're bad, but they're not even bad in an interesting way. They're just 500 all the time, or just below it, or one step above it. They're not bad in any way that anybody remembers. They're a completely forgettable team in every way. Like, if you're going to be bad, at least be interesting bad. No, they're not even that. They're just bad.
Yeah, and the Colts are just frustrating. That's all. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about it, Bruno. So last night, Seager's the one to look out for. Two home runs, and it was only 3-1, and the Diamondbacks had a shot at it. And I don't know how much I really blame Christian Walker for running through the stop sign, as they say. The third base coach was just giving him an enthusiastic go, 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 run, 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 and then he puts his head down, starts running. And then all of a sudden he's like, stop, stop, stop. And he just goes right by him and just doesn't look up again. Probably because he's like, oh my God, he's telling me to go. I don't know if I got the wheels for this, but okay. And, so I don't completely blame Christian Walker for that. But I guess maybe you're supposed to at least glance.
It's a little bit of situational awareness. That can change pretty quickly. Just as you're going around, just take a quick peek. see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can share some of the credit for that. But I guess if your job is to make sure you check as you come around third, then yeah, it's on him. But because that was the inning, they were starting to set up to do something, and then it just fell the hell apart and never came back. I mean, well, it came back a little bit later, but they just didn't have what they needed to get through. So, I guess do you ever have a runner make an error? Do they count stuff like that? Because right now, this is the first World Series in which neither team has made an error through the first three games.
I don't think that counts now.
But if you look at Christian Walker, it's kind of an error.
Yeah, but it's they're referring to fielding errors.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think so now.
I don't want to pile on him. In fact, I'm trying to give him a little bit of a pass there, but. So the odds are against us, according to history. There's been 62 times where the World Series got tied 1-1 after Game 2. And then the Game 3 winner went on to win 41 times out of that 62. So the odds are now in the Texas Rangers' favor. I don't think it matters. I don't care about that because there's also 20 times where that didn't happen. So you play each game and you go from there. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about what happened last night. They paid Seager $325 million. They got their money's worth. But the Garcia thing, that is disappointing. I'd rather he be out there than not. So Big George says Garcia is out of the day's lineup. Well, yeah, George, we said that. He wouldn't be in the lineup if he's hurt. And we've told you already he's hurt. So, thanks, George.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with what he says next, though. Diamondbacks need to pitch around Corey Seager. If you walk him, fine. It's better than giving up a home run. George is not wrong, and I was surprised they didn't.
I'm surprised they didn't, but
especially when you had a pitcher who was kind of crumbling on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't. I think part of it was they just didn't want to back down from him. I don't know that you should make it necessarily that in a World Series where all of these plays matter.
Back down.
Yeah, I mean, if backing down, look, you say, what they say about losing the battle to win the war. Yeah. Like that's what you're here for.
May I show you to your table? Just right over here. It's called first base. Enjoy.
Yeah, just have that.
It's a lovely place. Yes, Blissful Hayes. I did just say urine. Bruno Baller says the Diamondbacks are defying the odds this year anyway, right? So far, you are correct, sir. But again, each game is its own story. We're going to take it from there. Oaktown Destroyer, all those nice things you said about him. He just turns to me and he says, looking forward to kicking your butt. Okay.
Well, all right.
Okay. Average Joe, listen, your point I'm going to help solidify with information from Umpire Auditor. He says, why, oh God, why doesn't Major League Baseball have more than one home plate umpire ranked in the top half of all umpires in the World Series? I'm not saying the reason is the Diamondbacks are down. It just still, it's a bad look.
Help.
Yeah, let me explain to you. According to umpire auditor Alfonso Marquez, he's ranked 77th best plate umpire out of 92. That means there's 76 other guys who are better at this job than him. And they put him in the World Series.
In a pivotal game, because all the odd number games.
89.9% accuracy, 5th worst game of the entire playoffs. Not just the series, the entire playoffs.
Oh, no.
What were the other 76 guys doing tonight?
Were they just too busy? Couldn't be asked? The 26th ranked guy couldn't be bothered to show up, make an appearance?
And it was a bad call. We had a walk and he strike. They're like, what? No, what the are you talking about?
Which, by the way, nothing makes me angrier than an umpire that's wrong with all the confidence in the world.
And wrong with the game on the line.
Yeah, like it's just
that could have been the game for us. We could have won the game.
Wow.
If we had gotten that guy on base with the walk.
I just remembered how mad I was about that. Yeah, no, that was horrible.
So now we're all mad again. We should be. Anyways, all right, listen, we'll pick this back up. More to talk about with tonight's game. And, of course, we got some NBA and NFL, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
My daughter is normally a little goofball, but after a bad night's sleep, she's too tired to be anything. That's why I trust Pure Z's Kids. Pure Z's Kids is mindfully formulated just for kids. Their non-habit forming, drug-free products help my daughter fall asleep naturally, giving her the rest to be her best.
I'm a dinosaur.
Her best dinosaur.
Pure Z's Kids, for ages 4 and up when needed. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Looking to buy a home or investment property? Maybe you've been thinking about an Airbnb or have kids going to college. Well, let me help you pay the tuition. Few agents know real estate like the team at A2 Luxury Real Estate. We are agents, investors, appraisers, and finance pros. We can help you find a home that delivers value and results. Call us at 602-888-1433 to discuss your options. That's 602-888-1433. Realty One Group.
The NASCAR season will come to an end in Phoenix, but the championship weekend will last forever. 4 championship races in 3 days, all set against the stunning backdrop of the desert mountains. A Friday doubleheader under the lights, the Xfinity Championship on Saturday, and a Cup Series champion crowned on Sunday. It's a weekend you'll wish would never end. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, November 3rd through the 5th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, It's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, not alongside Randy White. He is at the Weatherman's Conference, allegedly. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale, talking about last night's game, getting ready for tonight's game, and the bats have got to come alive. I mean, I know that he gave up them three. It was two. It was 3 runs, but what was that? It was 2 home runs and then 1 RBI. So, it was part of the second Corey Seaver. Is Corey, right? I just threw the thing away.
Yeah, it's Corey
Seaver.
Corey
Yeah.
Seager. Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Seaver. I want to say Tom Seaver when I see Seager. Brain kind of transposes that. But Alfonso Marquez has probably been the best player for the Rangers so far in this series. Plate umpire. And he's probably not supposed to be in the World Series. But then Alfonso Marquez says, "Well, neither is your closer." Yeah, I did. I got mad too. I got re-mad. We got re-mad about what happened last night. And don't act like that the strike he called, which should have been a ball, which should have been a walk, wouldn't have set them up to win the game. I mean, that was their best shot to win the game, and he took that away from them. So, yeah, I'm going to blame that on him. But no, listen, you never want to blame the game on the umpires or the referees. You can't blame the entire game, but this is about as close as I've seen it get. That call right there.
Yeah, it's a bad call, and it's made more frustrating by the fact that the umpire didn't seem to be aware that he made a bad call.
Were you surprised that we lost the challenge on the double play?
Yeah.
Which one did you think was? I thought that dude was safe at first. Every time I saw it, it looked like he was safe at first. Which one do you think was the second or first? Which one do you feel was more right? They threw 2 challenges at that.
Was more right? I mean,
was the dude out at second?
I thought the dude at first was safe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Second, out. But I don't know why they challenged the one on second. Must have been very close in their eyes. But the one on first, even after they said, no, he was out, they showed the play again.
You see it from another angle. You're like, no, he still looks safe to me.
What are they looking at? Like VHS? I mean, how did you come away with that? I'm like, all right, fine. We can't spend time in the past. We can't sit there and worry about Alfonso Marquez. We can't sit here and worry about failed challenges. One of the cool things that happened yesterday, and I did hear the announcers talk about it. And by the way, I like these announcers. John Stoltz, what's his name? And
Smoltz.
Yeah, Smoltz, and I don't know, some kid. He's like 8, but he's good. He looks like he's 8 years old with a fresh haircut. But I like this team. How do you like the announcers? Are they good with you, or you? Yeah, I can't stand Joe Buck, even when he does baseball.
I do like him. I think that they had a kind of a hiccup last night where somebody was saying, they missed a word in what they were saying and ended up saying, it's not very often that 2 teams make it to the World Series. And I think he meant 2 wild card teams. I think that he was trying to say, but he missed that part.
Yeah.
So it just sounded like he was saying, boy, it's a rare thing that happens when 2 teams make it here. And I was like, I don't think that's what you meant. Don't think that's what you meant, my friend.
I kind of love that, and I'm sure he's hitting himself over the head for it. But if that's the worst thing to happen, that was just a mistake by me. So
yeah.
So one thing that did happen, and like I was saying, the announcers were talking about, is Tommy Pham. What a nice guy. He was sitting there and he's like, "Hey, Torey Lovullo, I'd like to have Jace go ahead and pinch hit for me. Could we get Jace Peterson out there?" And Torey Lovullo's like, "Really? Are you sure about that?" He's like, yeah. He's like, "Listen, he's not, let him have a moment if we're winning this thing later." And so Lovullo says, "Sure, okay, if it's 7-1, and it's the only score I'll allow it to happen, If it's 7-2, lefty righty, I'll reconsider it. I'll circle back to you. So he's basically saying the only way this is happening is if we're blowing him out. Well, next time he looked at the scoreboard, we were blowing him out. And so he's like, all right, let's do this. And so Jace Peterson went out there, and it was nice for him. He hit into a force out, and then he got brought home on a score. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Manuel Rivera did their thing, a couple of singles, and then he made it home. So talk about a memory for the rest of his life. Jace Peterson gifted this moment by Tommy Pham just being unselfish. And then Torey Lovullo's like, I'm an idiot, because he was about to be one of the first players to go 5 for 5. If I'd left him in, he could have gone 5. He could have beat the record. And he was talking about all the guys in the past. And he's just like, I didn't even think about it, but my family let me know.
Yeah, but the thing is that Tommy Pham went and told him himself that, you know what, you can go in and get that hit. And so like clearly Tommy Pham would have, if it was that important to him, I'm sure he would have let Torey Lovullo know, but he just wasn't interested.
Yeah. I think it was cool, and there's no reason to wrinkle it, but that was just an unselfish thing.
Sign of a good locker room
that Tommy Pham did for Jace Peterson. So let's win some now, though. Okay, no more selflessness. Let's get the job done. And tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last check the betting line, because yesterday it changed on me. They had Arizona favored, and then they flipped it to the Rangers. Right now, I see Arizona in -115. I don't know if they still are.
Arizona's still at -115.
Over under 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you take on that one? I'm going to take. I'm tempted on the over, because I feel like this is how it works. There's a close game, then there's a big game, and I feel like a big game might be coming tonight. But I don't feel confident enough about that to put money on it. Or your money on it.
The thing is with both of these teams, I don't want to say that they're streaky, but that you just never know where the offense is going to necessarily come from on a night-to-night basis, or who's going to step up, because it could be a pitcher as well. It almost feels like you can't tell. You know, it just you've got Brandon Pfaadt yesterday playing really well up to that game, and then you know that was kind of one of his bigger letdown games since the postseason started. I would have trouble betting on on any single game.
By the way, I'll call him by his actual name after this is over, but until then, he's
well, because you can't change anything.
Right, I can't change anything.
That's what we were doing before, so now you got to stick with it. Yeah.
Afterwards, I know how to say his name. But tonight you got Andrew Heaney and Joe Mantiply. I guess it's a bullpen game for both teams.
It is a bullpen kind of game. So,
and
that's going to make it more unpredictable.
More of a bullpen series now that they've possibly lost Max Scherzer, which, by the way, I do believe what I tweeted last night. I believe it is true. Legend has it that if you stare into the dead eye of Max Scherzer, you'll see the day and how it is you actually die yourself.
Oh, no.
If you look into that eye.
That can't be true.
I saw myself on a ladder. I fell off changing a light bulb. I saw when I wasn't old at all.
I gotta avoid it, but you know, I just Max Scherzer on account of what he did when he was a National. I have trouble seeing Max Scherzer as anybody other than a hero. So.
Which eye is the dead eye? By the way, I think it's the one on. If we're looking at him, it's the one on the right. The dark eye is the dead eye, right?
Well, both of his eyes work fine.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't. One of them's dead.
No, they're both fine. Just one.
Nope.
Looks...
You will see how you die if you look in the eye of Max Scherzer.
They are both live eyes that he has.
If I'm Max Scherzer, I want people to believe that, because that makes you nervous batting. You're like, what if I accidentally see how I'm going to die in the eye of Max Scherzer?
Yeah, you're sitting there looking in the eye and then just strike.
Well, strike and oh my God, you can't change it. I mean, I guess you could change it if you don't get up on the light bulb, the ladder, and change the light bulb. By the way, if you haven't
never climb ladders ever.
If you haven't seen the movie Big Fish, you really should. It's
very
good. What?
Yeah, I know. I know. It's one of those movies that I have been told more than enough I should watch, and I just haven't gotten to it yet.
No, that's probably I've listed generally as my favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
Period.
I will prioritize that more.
You really, really should. All right, let's go to the text line, 888-368-1580. Oh, look, there's Kiss the Cook saying, through the grapevine. Wait, what? You're doing a remote for NASCAR? Snacka, what? That's right. We're doing a remote broadcast at the Fry's at Litchfield Park. That's right, 13730 West Camelback Road location. We're going to have giveaways, some tickets, some gift cards, and some other swag from the Fanatic and other giveaways. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to join us. You can meet him, get an autograph. We're going to try to get him on the blender at the beginning of the show. He's slated to be there from 2 to 3 p.m. We're going to try to make him hang around and say hi to you guys here on the blender. But we're broadcasting the show from 3 to 6 p.m., so you can stop by and say hi whenever you feel like. And I'm going to get me some of that. I'm getting the Fry's fried chicken. Don't care what the cardiologist says. I'm getting me because that's the best chicken. Some people say it's nasty. Some people say, oh, it's great. I'm surprised at George. I'm telling you right now, I've tried everything. Fry's fried chicken, when they get it right, is the best fried chicken I've ever had. And it was the same recipe in California as it was here, and it was good stuff. Trust me on this. So anyway, join us on Friday. You can come out there at 2 p.m. We'll be there, not on air, but hanging out with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and then we're going to be broadcasting. So again, 13730 West Camelback Road in Litchfield Park this coming Friday. You know, we got the word on this thing after Randy had already gone off to his Weatherman convention. He's going to be very sad when he comes back.
Yeah.
I bet he's going to wish he'd been at this one.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of things that he's going to come back to that he's missed.
Well, like what? I mean, I know there's this
remote there's this remote. He's going to have normal work days on Mondays and Thursdays.
Oh yeah,
he's not going to be prepared for.
Yeah.
No, his timing is really bad on this.
And remember when I said I would do his work while he was gone?
Can you believe that?
He should have never believed me.
Oh man,
I just thought that was hilarious. Hefty Lefty says, "Are you going to be getting a hotel room?" What? Oh yeah, because it is far away. Yeah, it's quite a trek for you over to the deep West Valley. I believe it's an exact hour drive from me, so not really worthy of a hotel room. You know, I mean, I might if we're getting liquored up or something. I don't know. George says that play-by-play announcer in the World Series, Joe Davis, aka Jimmy Neutron, is a Los Angeles Dodgers play-by-play guy. Despite that, I like Jimmy Neutron and John Smoltz. Yeah, listen, I like Vince Scully too. You know, I didn't care who he was announcing for. He was awesome. You know, I'm not gonna blame the announcer for the team. You know, not upset about that. Blissle says, we need AI umpires and referees. Yeah, we do, but not yet. Chat GPT, the AI, all the stuff you see, they keep getting crap really wrong. I had a conversation with the chat GPT thing, and I'm asking it questions about the conversation we just had, kind of testing it, and it was just making stuff up. So
it's a long ways away from being...
I know I'm like even calling us like, dude, you're saying things that never happened. Oh, I apologize. I'm just a convert. Like, oh my God. It's so far away. It's what's really concerning. It's lying. I don't mind you getting it wrong and saying, I don't know. But the lying and just like, oh, here's the answer. That's not right. Oh, well, whatever. It's a dishonest thing. So I don't want a dishonest AI umpire or referee. We already have those. What I want is just the robotic cameras. That's not necessarily AI, but that is something that has been proven to be very accurate. I don't need to ask this thing, how to tear down a carburetor. I need it just to get the balls and the strikes correct, unlike the guy last night. Hey, Randy White's on the text line. Says, hey, this is Randy White. I am still okay. There may be a bill sent to you, Jeffrey. Pay no attention to what it's for. I don't.
The thing that I'm worried about is he said, I am still okay, which is not a thing that anybody who is okay really has to say?
Then I gotta wonder, did he break something?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
What did he break? I'm not gonna not pay attention. If it's sent to me personally, I feel like I have to pay attention. If it's sent to Radio Ron, no, I'm not going to pay attention. It's none of my business at that point. But all right, Randy. Well, okay. Just, we're going to have a meeting. Big George says, breaking news just in, both Adolis Garcia and Max Scherzer have been removed from the Texas Rangers roster. We already knew that, man. We knew that. We knew that last night. It's not breaking news. Well, you say, no, they're out for the remainder of the World Series. Utility man Ezekiel Duran and left-handed reliever Brock Burke will replace them.
Yeah, well, I figured Scherzer was done.
They're saying Adolis Garcia is out for the rest of the series.
Well, that means
period.
That oblique strain is a serious one.
All right, I'll preserve your breaking news privileges, but we all kind of knew that, right? We all kind of knew that. Quiet Cannon says, umpire Alfonso might have cost the Diamondbacks the game yesterday. Did he need a CNI dog to find his car? He probably did afterwards. All these guys have canes, so I'm sure he figured it out. Just another face in the crowd says, good luck finding a room on that side of the valley this weekend. Good point. Because of the race, every room is taken. There's no room at the inn, I guess. Kiss the Cook says, dude, you need to try the fried chicken from Albertsons. I did once, and no bueno. I mean, I could try it from another Albertsons, but I don't even know where they are anymore. Pro Dog says, I'm going to the race on Sunday. Oh, cool, man. Good for you. I got money on Kyle Larson. The wife has William Byron. I think we're contractually obligated to tell you we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So go Ricky. Big George. Yes, thank you, George. He's like, yeah, that's breaking news, man. It was actually breaking news. Okay. They're out for the remainder of the series. It's a big deal. Okay. No, we acknowledged it after we further dissected your text. King of Kenton says, change into cooling, windy weather has my hernia flared up. I really didn't need to know that, King of Kittens. I really didn't need to know that. I will say I've just learned. I did not know that windy weather affects a hernia. Do you not wear clothes? How does that
how does that work? That is a great question.
Is the hernia coming out your belly button or a place we don't want to talk about? Why are we talking about your hernia, King of Kittens? See, now that we did, I didn't want to, but now that we have, I'm curious to know these answers. And I know that in spite of himself, so is Keon. I'm kind of curious.
I'm kind of curious. I will also hate knowing the answer once I get it. And I also hate that I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn you, Kiss the Cook. Or King of Kittens. Whoever it was. King of Kittens, yeah. Oh, no. Miss Kim just texted in, Jeffrey, have you heard from Randy? I haven't seen him since we landed.
No.
Landed where?
I thought he was going to the Weatherman's convention. I didn't realize Miss Kim was going as well.
It's probably what I'm not supposed to look at is the bill for the tickets. Oh my God.
This is great. This is great.
Random texter says, Jeffrey, is it true Big George was at the game yesterday? Diamondbacks game. Well, if he's not at the game today and they win, yes, I am calling Big George a game 3 jinx. No, that's fair enough. He's even agreed with that too, random texter. Just in the face, another face in the crowd says, that's a hernia. Nobody wants to hear about it. Kind of do.
I agree that I don't want to hear about it.
I've
but
never
also,
had one. Right?
Man.
So you're kind of curious.
Yeah, I've never had one either. So I
can tell when somebody's had one and they're wearing a t-shirt. You're like, whoa. It's an odd place for a belt buckle. Nope, that's your belly button. Lost Toby is at the game right now, and he says it is packed. He shows me a picture from the concourse. Wow, that is packed. But that'll calm down when everybody gets their seats. Everybody's just all anxious and crazy to get in there. Mr. Pringle says Tom Petty wouldn't back down from Seager. Well, he's dead.
Yeah, but also he's Tom Petty.
Well, Tom Petty's dead. So he's never going to be faced with Corey
with
Seager.
Corey Seager. He also never played professional baseball, to my knowledge. So that would be another reason.
He was a very slight man. He was a very frail little guy. I don't know that he could fully swing a bat.
Much less throw the ball fast enough to do anything.
Yeah.
Against Corey Seager.
Yeah, I don't think he's throwing. He might catch it accidentally. I mean, Tom Petty was awesome, but he was never going to play ball. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have other things to talk about more than just the World Series. We've got some NBA. We got a big game coming tonight, and a bunch of stuff been happening. Let's talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Want even more excitement on game day? It's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you could win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks. And with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code primetime for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Looking to buy a home or investment property? Maybe you've been thinking about an Airbnb or have kids going to college. Well, let me help you pay the tuition. Few agents know real estate like the team at A2 Luxury Real Estate. We are agents, investors, appraisers, and finance pros. We can help you find a home that delivers value and results. Call us at 602-888-1433 to discuss your options. That's 602-888-1433. Realty One Group.
Are you ready for the NFL season? Are you ready to win $1,580 in cold hard cash? Sign up today for the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Get over to 1580thefanatic.com and sign up today. Someone needs to win this $1,580 first prize. Why not you? Finish in second place. Cha-ching! You win $500. The Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic NFL Fan Pick'em Contest. Sign up today at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Went ahead and took a look at the NFL schedule for this upcoming week and the best games. Unfortunately, you have to wake up at 7:30 a.m. to see one of the best games when the Dolphins play the Chiefs in Germany. Let's see. After that, well, nobody cares about Vikings anymore, so I guess that doesn't matter with the Falcons. Cardinals are playing. They're playing a rare morning game. They're playing against the Browns.
Oh boy.
See here. No. That game stinks. That game stinks worse. Seahawks, Ravens. That'll probably be interesting. Let's see. Tampa Bay. No. Colts. No, hell no. Raiders. Nope. Sure. I guess maybe Dallas and Eagles. I guess. I think that's a good one because you expect that the Eagles can put away the Cowboys, but that's that's what the good teams in your division are doing, Keon. They're playing on Sunday. Anyway,
I mean, Washington's playing on Sunday too. They're just not.
Really, is that what you call that? You call that playing?
I mean, they're 3-5. It's just.
Do you call that playing?
They're just boring.
Do you call it playing?
And
do you call it playing?
Well, let's put it this way: if they lose to New England, no, I would not call that playing.
I'll tell you, I mean, the Colts, I can't call that playing. I mean, Panthers have a legit shot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders played the Eagles last week, and it was a 38-31, like, again, a down-to-the-wire thriller. I would call it playing. I just wouldn't call it winning.
Yeah.
They just lose a bunch of games where they actually score, but it doesn't matter.
I'm going to assume that Sunday Night Football will be good with the Buffalo Bills and the Bengals.
No, that one's going to be a good one, yeah. I mean, I saw Joe Burrow moving around last week, and he looks like he's back, all the way back.
All right. Well, that's good for football. It's good when they're good. So anyway, I just saw that and was kind of wondering what kind of games I had to look forward to, since it ain't going to be a Cardinals, a Colts, or a Washington Commandos game. It's going to have to be other people's teams that I watch. Silver Pop says, good afternoon, guys. Happy birthday, Jeffrey. Happy Halloween, everyone. Did I miss Keon Rose's college football Monster Mash review? Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that. Do you want to do that right now? Are you ready to do that right now?
Yeah, I can do that right now.
Let's do that right now. I mean, yeah, listen, for everybody who is here on the text line, I'll get to your text. You hang in there. I will get to your text. But right now, let's get the recap. Yeah, I mean, we actually get to hear about how ASU won a game. I hope I didn't spoil the recap, but I was excited about that.
I mean, that was part of the recap, but I don't think you spoiled it because it is Tuesday and the game did happen Saturday, and ASU did win the game. And I actually wasn't at the game, but I was driving by the stadium when they were winning and the fireworks were going off, and it sounded like people were having a fantastic time inside of Sun Devil Stadium.
That's what happens when you win. You have a fantastic time.
Yeah, it tends to feel pretty good. So we'll get to that there at the end of this whole thing. But let's start with a little bit of the headlines as the sign stealing saga in Michigan continues. Jim Harbaugh's finally talked about it. As you might have guessed, he's not saying a whole lot, but he is also in a contract year.
Is he fired? Do you think they'll fire him for this?
I don't think they'll fire him, because they're going to let the NCAA investigate. And then if things start to look really bad, they'll do what every school does, which is try and figure out a way to slap themselves on the wrist so that it's not too terrible. But also, I believe this is the last year of his contract, Jim Harbaugh. So there's no need to fire him. Just let him.
I know they weren't going to fire him, but do you think they'll re-sign him? Do you think they'll let him go?
Well, this is the thing. Like, he had a whole contract dispute with them last season with the extension, which eventually did get worked out, because he has no leverage to really go anywhere. He always threatens, I might go back to the NFL, and then nobody ever believes him, and then he signs whatever contract they offered him in the first place.
Word on the street is if he does jump ship and try to run to the NFL, that the NFL watching this situation might suspend him. I'm serious.
When he shows up. Yeah, so no, he's going to have to try and figure out a way to stick it out with Michigan, who they like him, and he has built a program that can compete for a national title. So, you have to give him the credit there. But obviously, if it puts you in a position where the NCAA starts sniffing around, which nobody ever likes, especially when they're sniffing around your football program, then, he could be in some serious trouble. And they wouldn't really have to, this isn't one of those situations where they have to pay Mel Tucker not to coach football anymore and have him go away. They were able to fire him with cause in that instance, but this is even better. You don't even have to try and fire him. Like Mel Tucker can turn around and try and sue Michigan State, which he is, for firing him improperly. But Harbaugh, they could just walk away from him. It could just be a very clean break if this investigation starts going in a way that makes Michigan look particularly bad. Central Michigan, they have some photos of Connor Stallions, the assistant coach. He's standing on their sideline wearing their team's colors. So somehow he infiltrated their entire setup over there. Again, there are 3 Big Ten teams that Michigan said, no, we're not going to steal your signs. There's no point. But somehow Central Michigan is a team that they decided that they were going to risk that for. And I think that that's interesting. The NFL, threatening the University of Houston, by the way, because they
Yeah.
had some very similar uniforms to the Oilers uniforms. The powder blue, the red. The NFL going after the University of Houston pretty hard. I guess because it just was the same weekend.
They didn't use logos. They just used
No.
color schemes.
And they just said Houston on the front.
They had the stripes. They had the thing, and the Houston wasn't in a font that the Houston Oilers have. It's just the colors. It's the colors and some stripes.
There are a billion high schools the NFL would have to go after if this is where they've decided they're drawing the line on what a school can't use and cannot use in terms of their presentation of using NFL-ish colors, especially colors that, quite frankly, nobody wears in the NFL anymore.
Right. And so what the NFL is saying, well, if they wear those colors, it will cause confusion, and people will think they are associated with or affiliated with the NFL or the Houston Oilers. Well, people are just too dumb to know the difference.
Which is crazy that people would go by not realize that they were going to a game on a Saturday, and then
it's just the NFL.
Come on, like you don't realize you're watching a college product. You don't realize if you're buying that jersey that's the college version of the jersey. It's silly. But the NFL is also a giant greedy corporation, so this is kind of how they tend to act. So we've got some of the interesting games of the weekend. There were more than what I'm going to get to here, but I'm going to just get to the ones that I was really interested in. Oregon beating Utah 35-6, I just thought was particularly interesting, if for no other reason than, it wasn't as close a game as I thought it was going to be. I mean, this Utah defense, I mean, say what you want about the offense and some of the stuff that they've struggled with. The Utah defense has been nothing short of amazing all season long. And they just ran into Oregon, who is probably going to win the Pac-12 because they just seem bigger than everybody. I mean, like their offensive line, their defensive line in the trenches, they're just bigger than everybody that they're playing. I mean, maybe if they roll up on Washington again, things could go differently, but they seem to be, at least in my opinion, the favorite to win the Pac-12 just because of how they are put together as a football team. They squash people when they go head to head. USC 50, Cal 49. So we have a overtime escape there. We put the USC Trojans on upset alert, which is spoiler alert, a thing that's going to probably happen every week for the next couple of weeks because that's a tough run the Trojans have.
Oh, I was going to say just because I think it's fun to do it.
I mean, it
bothers
it
Ralph.
is also fun to do it. It does also bother Ralph. It just also happens to be in a stretch of games where like you're going to be right more often than you're wrong about some of these losses. They just escaped Cal. Guess who they get next week? Washington and Michael Penix Jr. Guess who they get the week after that? Oregon, who just squashed Utah. So it's not going to be great for Ralph. And they end with UCLA. Good Lord, they could just lose out the rest of the season. That could really happen. So anyway, I know that Ralph doesn't want to hear that, and I'm sorry that he's
happy to tell us when we got suckage going on. He tells us we got suckage going on when we're winning, so it doesn't matter.
With a smile on his face. So I'm just saying the next 3 weeks, just know that I will not be picking the USC Trojans. That is where we land on that. This is a particularly bad game that I thought was interesting. Ole Miss beating Vandy 33-7, beating the Vanderbilt Commodores. But it was how bad Vanderbilt was on offense that when you look at certain stat lines, it's just funny, regardless of whatever the context is. 2 quarterbacks played for Vanderbilt. They each completed 4 passes. Ken Seals did it for 22 yards. Walter Taylor did it for 38 yards. They each threw an interception. Just nothing happened at Vanderbilt. And I am amazed that school is an SEC school. They just put no money to football at all. And maybe there is some logic to that. Just you're putting a lot of money in the football direction. If you just throw that money to baseball, you can dominate baseball and then not ever have to worry about all these other schools that you're way, 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 way behind in college football. But it is unbelievable that any talented coach has ever gone there and won, given what it is that Vanderbilt has to do every Sunday. So that brings it, or every Saturday, which brings us to ASU and Washington State. That was absolutely one of the best games of the weekend. The 38 points to 27 over the Cougars, and then you had what was the big story, which was the running game. You had Cameron Scattergood, but you also had Carlos Brooks. You also had Elijah Badger rushing the football, which is pretty crazy because Elijah Badger is tight end. So just the fact that he was able to get it done on the ground, 4 carries, 18 yards, a touchdown. He's a really versatile guy. And just one of the people that I don't believe at the beginning when they had the preseason Pac-12 first, second, third team, I don't think they had Elijah Badger in there. And how wrong were they about that? That guy is every bit as talented as he was advertised to be. I also think it's really interesting that this is not exactly the team that Kenny Dillingham wants. I just from his history and what he has done, he seems to be an air offense kind of guy. Let's throw the football. But this is what he has to work with. He has a team that's better at rushing than it is at throwing the football. And I give him all the credit in the world for putting his players in positions where they can be successful. People get on my case a lot, I think, about, I blame coaches a lot for when teams don't succeed, but this is football. Schemes matter, matchups matter. And if you're a coach that can't figure that stuff out, you do put all the players who are going to go out there, play their butts off, try their best, but you're putting them in a position where they can't necessarily win. I think that Kenny Dillingham does that every week with this team. Not that it results in wins, but he puts them in the best position to win with some of the things that he's able to do, like taking your tight end and using him as a running back and using him in the running game and getting teams to have to guard you horizontally. It's a really smart thing to do. And I'm glad they were able to get that second win there because it just makes the record look a little bit nicer. Get to the end of the year with one win. It's not pretty. So
we got a good coach. He'll build a good team.
Yeah.
Things are going to improve.
And
just not this year.
Just not this year, but I am excited for when he gets the players in there that play the brand of football and the style of football that he would like. I can't wait to see what it is that that this story or that this team becomes. I'm excited about what the story is going to be there. So before we get to the AP top 25, biggest falls, biggest rises in that, I did come across the Clemson radio show that Dabo Swinney does a segment on
I heard
every week. And there was a guy that called in. His name was Tyler from Spartanburg. And Tyler from Spartanburg had one question for Dabo Swinney, which is, you make $11.5 million a year. The team is 4-4. Why is that happening? And Dabo Swinney, it's a fair question, but Dabo Swinney decided to go on a 5-minute rant. I'll play a little bit of it because he can't play all 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're running up against a break.
But yeah, but here's a little bit of what Dabo Swinney responded with.
Been 3 times in 150 years. So if you want to know why, Clemson ain't sniffed a national championship for 35 years. We've won 2 in 7 years. And there's only 2 other teams that can say that, Georgia and Alabama. Okay? Is this a bad year? Yeah. And it's my responsibility. Take 100% responsibility for it. But all this bull crap you're thinking, all these narratives you read, listen, man, you can have your opinion all you want. And you can apply for the job. And good luck to you. All right?
And there was like he's just babbling a bunch of nonsense and not answering the question.
It really didn't. He also said later on that I'm not going to sit here and let you talk to me like I'm 12. I don't care how much money I make.
Well, 12-year-olds don't make the millions that Dabo Swinney makes.
And listen, I understand why, if you're Dabo Swinney, you could be mad about that because Clemson was not a college football power ever before he got there. And then he got there and they're national championships in that building that nobody ever thought they were going to have. However, when you are the highest paid public official in the state of South Carolina, you make more money than the governor.
Yeah.
People get to question you. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I don't think you get to complain when you're making more money than people who set laws in motion. You're a football coach and you make more money than them. People get to ask questions. People get to come at you with, why do you make $11.5 million and this team is 500? And he also had some excuses about how they lost a bunch of fumbles this year. And if they didn't do that, then they'd actually be 8-0. It was a sad 5-minute response, but it was an interesting 5 minutes. It's just, if you can go find it, it'll make you laugh. I mean,
So listen, we're up against the break. So if you want to talk about the AP when we come back, we can do that. But I don't know if you're going to want to, because George has already declared me the winner. He says,
he always does that.
Keon provided some very insightful analysis this week, but today's gold medal for Keon Rose's college football dance party wrap-up show goes to Jeffrey O'Brien. Jeffrey really brought it this week with his Dabo Sweeney analysis. Better luck next week, Keon. He's not wrong. He's just not wrong.
He's entirely wrong, but that's fine. He's wrong every week.
I had great analysis. What are you
You
talking
did
about?
have great analysis, but you winning a segment that
Sounds like summer grade.
doesn't have a winner.
He does,
but also
I just got named a winner.
But also I gather all the information and do quite literally all of the talking.
But when I do,
I'm just saying.
When I do,
so I'm not salty. I'll do the top 25 when we get back. But
I'm just saying.
I just roll with the assumption that George is wrong on a weekly basis.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That just is like, you know who you sound like right now.
Who do I sound like?
Dabo Sweeney.
Oh no.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hi, folks. Robert Quigley here, America's Independent, Washington, D.C. We're on the road to the White House. Today, abortion and population control. Many voters call with this question. Yes, humanity must control population growth. Infinite systems on a finite planet is not possible. Sustainable, balanced existence in all things is the Quigley goal. Quigley supports all birth control that prevents conception. Quigley will mandate and supercharge birth control research at the National Institutes of Health and encourage the pharmaceutical industry to pick up where they stopped in 1973. Viability is the key test. The mother's health, quality of life, rape, incest, age are all relevant issues to consider. Economic pain and lifestyle choices are not relevant issues. Adoption, yes. We shall not kill innocent babies under the Quigley administration. Go to robertquigleyforpresident.com, donate what you can, and together we will make America work for everybody.
And paid for by Linear Marketing Group. Are you drowning in debt? Are you struggling to make minimum payments? Did you know that on average, a household with at least one credit card struggles with over $17,000 in credit card debt? If this sounds like you, know that it's not your fault. Credit card debt happens to good people. Credit card companies lure you in with low introductory rates and low minimum payments. Before you know it, you're in over your head. We've helped thousands of good people just like you become debt-free with our Debt Reset program that will dramatically reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe. Our Debt Reset program is customized to get you debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months with one low monthly payment. If you owe over $10,000 in credit card debt or even personal loans, call 800-278-0630 now. There are no upfront fees or out-of-pocket expenses. You don't pay a dime until we succeed. Call now to see how the Debt Reset program can work for you. 800-278-0630. That's 800-278-0630. Again, 800-278-0630.
Attention, Fourth Dimension. It's Randy from the Daily Blender, and we're going on the road this Friday, November 3rd from 3 till 6 p.m. We're going to be at the Price Food Store, 13730 West Camelback Road, broadcasting live. Price Food Store is holding a parking lot meet and greet with Daytona champion and Kroger driver Ricky Stenhouse Jr. We're going to have race tickets and gift card giveaways, loads of vendor samples, and a whole lot more. Ricky's there at 2. The broadcast starts at 3. See you Friday, November 3rd, beginning at 2 p.m. at the Litchfield Price Food Store.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com
Oh, I'm ready!
and get ready for the workday.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and we're going to get to Keon Rose's AT25 anal analysis here in a minute. Let's get caught up on the text line. Just another face in the crowd said, would Seeger know Tom Petty's name? Corey Seager, would he know Tom Petty's name? Yeah, I think so. I think Tom Petty is still relevant enough, even though he's passed, that he would. Who was it was saying? There was somebody else had something to say about Tom Petty.
Yeah, Corey Seager's 29. I know Tom Petty. I'm 33. I'm only like 4 years older than him. So.
Lost Toby is sending me a bunch of pictures from the World Series. Oh, that's a nice picture right there. Nicely done, Lost Toby. I know you're probably not listening right now, but full house. The roof is open, and that looks like a great time right there. I wish I could be there. But then again, I like my living room. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's always the thing. It's like sometimes I see some of the games and I'm like, wow, that looks like fun.
Mm-hmm. It's not $1,500 worth of fun for me.
It's not $15,000 worth of fun. And I sink deeper into my couch and maybe I
get 1,500. I don't think
1,500. That's true. My bad. 1,500.
The Super Bowl, man. Nondescript says Josh Dobbs, get your Josh Dobbs here. Yep. And now he's not here. Fubar 1000 says, wait, isn't ASU moving to Division II? Shut up, Fubar.
Moving to the Big 12.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, just bet the overs for all those USC games. Pro tip. Fifth letter says, Keon, you're very right. Trojans can absolutely lose out in the next 3. And this coming from a diehard fan. Our defense is horrible, and Lincoln, that offense is starting to get figured out.
Yeah, and I think that he can still do enough to be ahead of defenses with that offense, and especially with Caleb. Like, I still think that Caleb Williams is awesome, but there's just no getting around the fact that Alex Grinch, the defensive coordinator, he's either checked out or he has no adjustments to make. But whatever it is, they're awful. They're awful.
Hey, I got a question. Didn't Arizona lose their game this weekend?
They did not.
Oh, I thought they did.
That's why I tried to skate past that one.
Okay.
I just didn't bring it up.
Kiss the Cook was kind of brought up there. So he said Kansas win over OU. Ouch.
Yeah. Look, and look who's fallen back in the Big 12 race. Boomer Sooner.
Hefty Lefty says Corey Seager would use Tom Petty as a bat. That actually would. I think he would.
He probably
I think
could,
he'd get a home run. He says, by the way, Keon, George grades on quality over quantity apparently. So,
well, he's wrong about that too. That's the thing. Wasn't George the Dalton Varsho angry man on Twitter? Berg brought that up.
Well, that's not salty at all. To bring that up.
Oh no, I'm 100% salty. Pure salt.
No, that's awesome. Berg keeps receipts, man. He remembers what is said.
Like, here I am getting support from Berg, but this is what it is.
McMama says, I agree. I love my couch. And P.S. The beer here is way cheaper.
Isn't it?
Absolutely. Let's see here. Lost Toby keeps sending me just some nice pictures of the park. Now those are Chamber of Commerce photos right there, man. Nicely done. Hey, okay. So before we run out of time, because I'm going to be honest with you, we're going to do a roll call in the next hour just to see who's even listening anymore. And we might tailor the hour of the show to those 3 or 4 people, because once the World Series starts, I don't think anybody's listening. And if I'm wrong, let me know. And then we'll try to tailor make the show just for whoever is left. And we don't blame you. Not even mad about it. Get on the TV, watch the TV, watch the World Series with your eyeballs if you can. And we're not mad at you if suddenly you're not here. This is a special time, and we don't blame you one bit. Hefty Lefty says, I'm here. No, I mean, after the World Series starts is when we're going to do that. So anyway, all right. So we better, if it's going to be relevant, you better do it now, Keon. You better talk about it now.
And I'll be quick about it. I mean, we're just going to go through the team that fell the most, which would actually be Oregon State and Utah. Oregon State would be the team that lost to Arizona this weekend. Fell 5 spots all the way down to 16. Oregon State did. Utah losing to Oregon drops them all the way down to 18.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you going off the college football playoff rankings, or are you going off the AP 25?
I'm going off the AP 25 because they're doing the college football playoff one like right now.
Yeah.
So
I've got it right here.
Okay.
I've got the whole thing in front of me.
But yeah, I'm just going off the AP because that's what I pulled together earlier.
Okay.
Oregon State, Utah falling 5 spots. The risers in the top 25, you got UCLA and Louisville going up 3 spots each. Louisville moving all the way up to 15, and then UCLA moving up to number 20. And your top 5 is Washington at 5, Florida State at 4, Ohio State at 3, Michigan at 2, and Georgia is still number 1.
Well, you burned through that before I could get the thing on my screen. So, all right.
Well, that's a damn shame, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to. Okay, I actually got the S-Pin up in here too. So
I think you did that just so I couldn't win this one. I think you're just you've done something to prevent me from winning.
It's already been graded.
You're gone.
I don't know if I can.
Never had a chance there. So.
I never have a chance because Big George is the judge.
No, I know, but there's no denying this one. I think you got me on this.
The only time I have ever won any of my own segments, according to George, who's not correct, by the way. I'm just according.
You
to
didn't
him,
think you won the one that you won.
the only time. Well, it's just it was a pity one. It's what it was. It's like he didn't give it to me because I actually earned it. I think I was like sick that day or under the weather or something, and then he was like, "Oh, here it is." No, I don't want your pity, Big George. I want you to be correct.
I feel like he's doing fine. I don't know why you're mad.
He's just not doing well at all.
So do you want to talk about the college football playoff rankings? Do you have any issues with that they have Ohio State number 1, Georgia number 2, Michigan number 3, Florida State number 4? Sounds familiar.
I got a bit of an issue with Ohio State being ahead of Michigan and Georgia. But I mean, if you're in that 4, that's where you want to be. So I'm not going to make the biggest stink about it. That's where you'd like to be. And then, trying to be in that spot of number 5 and number 6.
Nice to see ASU at number 7. That's really good. That's really good.
Not yet.
I made you look.
Not yet. No, because I was like, wasn't Texas number 7? Yeah.
You're like, what? So any surprises other than that you have Ohio State ranked first? Making Boomer Sooner happy.
Yeah, I think maybe Alabama and being at 8, being ahead of Oklahoma. Just the way that Alabama's played this year, it's not the same Alabama. They're still getting the bump of just being the Crimson Tide and having that reputation of being dominant.
Oh, you know what I don't see on this list? USC.
Is USC not on the college football playoff 25?
They are not.
Ooh, that is surprising.
Wait, Southern California.
No, that's USC. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't put the U in front of it.
I was like, that is. I wouldn't have dropped. I would not have dropped them out of the top 25 just yet. I mean, they won't end.
They will
there.
drop. They will drop.
Yeah, because they're not winning against Washington and Oregon. Or either of them, actually. Just they're losing both of those games.
Shouldn't they put the word University Southern California? Because that's what we all know them by.
I mean, because it is a college thing, we all know it's a university usually. So it just kind of.
Shut up. I had to ask. Blissful Hayes says,
but you're not a college guy.
You need to tell the fourth dimension to continue listening to Blender and watch the World Series with the volume muted. I mean, you can do that if you want, but I don't.
But there are people, man. Have friends over or whatever. You just or they just want to hear the TV. That's fine too.
If that's what you're doing, or if you're driving home and you can't stand to listen to the other station, and because honestly, I've listened to some of their play-by-play. I get it. We'll give updates. We'll give you some updates, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, Blissful Hayes. We understand and we are realistic about what's happening, and not mad at all. Hefty Lefty says the Broncos graciously accepted a pity win from the Mahomes on Sunday. I don't think that was a pity win.
I don't think it was a pity win.
The sickness affected him more than he was willing to accept.
Yeah, I mean, it had just snowed not too long before in Denver, and then he was out there sick playing. I know that wasn't a pity win. Sometimes you just have a bad game, and they had a bad game.
Kiss the Cook says, sorry, wait, what? What is this segment about? I was listening to the pregame. What did I miss? Whatever it was. They were right. It's the cook. It's okay, man. You don't have to listen. It's all right. We're not upset about it. Big George says, you know what, Keon, your datings are outranked. Your rankings are outdated. I'm sorry. The most updated rankings actually matter came from Jeffrey.
Yeah, well, they weren't out yet when I put the segment together.
And yet I had them.
You also needed me to do my bit for you to have that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You literally said it.
I saw it right there.
You were like, hey, you didn't keep talking long enough for me to pull it up.
Did I?
Yes, you did. You said it out loud with your mouth.
I don't think so.
With your mouth.
Probably not.
But you did.
Bruno Baller says, I'll be here after 5 p.m., but I'll be watching the game cast on my phone. That's cool, man.
However you want to do it.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I understand if the kids want to go and watch the game, you know. Pickle D says the CFP committee taking a giant dump with this poll. I understand the strength of schedule isn't there this year, but an undefeated Georgia coming off back-to-back national championships not being number one? Really? I'd be more understanding of Michigan being number one. Coming off back-to-back wins over OSU and being the only team in the top 5 that's won every game in convincing fashion. You think a back-to-back national champion Alabama team would drop out at first in this scenario?
No,
not a chance.
Not a
this
chance.
Is gross.
No, that's fantastic analysis right there. And the fact that it's Ohio State that leapfrogged everybody is just confusing to me on multiple levels. And I say that as someone who is actually, I think that Ohio State's great this year, but they're not the best team in the country.
Number one Rattlers fan says, when does Keon get his own show? Well, I believe when George thinks he's ready.
George, what do you think?
Rattlers fan also says he's predicting a 7-4 Diamondbacks win with Gabriel Moreno hitting a home run for him today. Here's hoping. We'll be back in the next hour. Not mad if you're watching the World Series. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at even bigger basketball wins. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BET1580. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BET1580. The crown is yours.
21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Looking to buy a home or investment property? Maybe you've been thinking about an Airbnb or have kids going to college. Well, let me help you pay the tuition. Few agents know real estate like the team at A2 Luxury Real Estate. We are agents, investors, appraisers, and finance pros. We can help you find a home that delivers value and results. Call us at 602-888-1433 to discuss your options. That's 602-888-1433. Realty One Group.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside not Randy White. He's supposed to be at a weatherman's conference, but Miss Kim texted in looking for him. I feel like this happened last year, but I guess she lost track of him once they got off the plane, so I don't know what is happening with Randy, but that's generally how this goes. We knew this would be this way anytime we send him off someplace like that, so I'm sure he'll be back Monday. That's all I know. And the World Series is just a few minutes away from starting up again. Game 4. We need to win this one, man. We need to win this one. And again, I'm not mad if you guys toddle off to go watch the game. I get it. If you're driving in your car, we'll give you updates if you can't stand listening to the other guys do the thing that they do. But ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Don't worry about it. Pink Eye says, "What about watching the World Series and 1580 on the YouTube on the same screen?" I guess you could do that. I don't know why you would do that. There's nothing more interesting than the game, and I would think you would want that to take up your entire. Although I am pretty impressive with my Superman outfit with the fake abs, all 6 of them. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice optical illusion. That I got a cape and everything back there. Of course, you can't see it because of the camera the way it is. If I was sideways, you see my impressive cape.
There you
right
go.
There.
Yeah,
should have got a fan on me.
missed opportunities.
I mean, I got time. Nobody's going to be listening for the next hour. I could walk off and get a fan, and
you
nobody
could.
would even notice. Big George wants to tell you something, Keon.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I actually do think Keon deserves his own show. He provides great insight into college football,
You wouldn't
NFL,
know it.
and the NBA. Keon knows his stuff. Problem is, he just can't compete with Jeffrey on Jeffrey's own show."
Is that what the curve is?
My greatness it's hard, man. Look at I'm wearing a Superman cape and fake abs. You can't compete with this.
Okay, today I will acknowledge.
Just saying. Baker's Cocky Hen says Ohio State has to play Michigan still.
Yeah, like that, and that's the thing. Why I try not to get too upset about any of these rankings that come out at this point is they do this stuff on purpose because it shakes itself out. By the time we get to the end of the regular season, a lot of these teams that are between 1 and 6 will have gone head to head and solved some of the problems.
Yeah, Baker's Cocky Hen says the committee always sets it up so teams that play big games still can lose their top spots, etc. Michigan cheating probably affected it also. Not that it should.
I mean, they still have them at 3, so you know what I mean? It's not like I don't think Michigan cheating really did affect that.
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean,
it shouldn't. It shouldn't ever. You have them ranked where they're supposed to be ranked by the merits of their play. And if there's sanctions that happen, then you deal with that later. Sort that out later, or if you shut them down before. I mean, but yeah, right now is not the time to be messing with that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. Not unlike the top, 6, maybe even 8 teams in this thing here. It'll sort itself out too. That'll also end up being something that'll work itself out, either if the NCAA has enough to move faster than we thought, or if it's going to be something that happens after the season, which would be my guess.
Hefty Lefty says, that whole pity thing for the Broncos, getting pity from Mahomes. He says whether it was a pity win or Mahomes being too soft to play with the sniffles, well, it was actually his stomach, but whatever. I'll take the win either way. Nobody beats the Broncos 17 straight times. Nobody. He goes, except for the Raiders in the 60s. That's, yeah. I guess the Raiders in the 60s did worse to the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean it's stuck in his memory. So
yeah, he wasn't even alive then. That's how stuck it is in his memory.
Yeah, it's just a legendary thing everybody talks
about. Fubar 1000 says breaking fake news. Well, why would I break it when you've already declared it fake? So that, but okay. U of A will be in the college playoff after they expand it to 32.
And even then,
hey, Beer Nuts, are you Beer Nuts on the pick contest? Are you the same Beer Nuts? Beer Nuts is on the text line, and he says, "Let's go Diamondbacks." Let me just ask you though, Beer Nuts, are you Beer Nuts with a Z? Because if you are Beer Nuts with a Z on the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em, got 15 and won the week. Yes, 15 right. Nicely done, Beer Nuts. The only one he got wrong, Chiefs.
Well, yeah, who was going to see that one coming?
I forgot to look. I noticed that it looked like everybody got that pick wrong, but I didn't look on the other side of that to see how many actually picked right. Last time we did this, it was like 5 or 6 on one of the worst picks. So I got time. Nobody's listening.
Look,
here.
The Chiefs one is one where if you got the Denver pick right, I can't imagine you got the other picks correct. Like that just seems like such an outlandish thing to choose. Of all the teams that surprised me, and I was surprised by Houston and Carolina, just because Carolina just didn't look like they had a pulse all season. And I was a little surprised by Atlanta and Tennessee, but that has to be the most surprising one.
I can't filter this, but so far on the first page of picks, one person, Patrick 9, picked the Broncos. Let's go again here. Let's see.
Wow.
We have all the time in the world. Wheels McCoy. So there's 2.
Okay.
2 people picked the Denver to win. 3 Penner Tack. So 3 total people have picked the Broncos to win. And I'm going to guess some of those were mistakes. Like, oops, they clicked the wrong thing. I can't believe they actually clicked that on purpose. So, but hey, 3 people. That's actually worse than the last time we had an upset. That is probably worse than the last time. Just another face in the crowd says, I'm sitting at a local watering hole, drinking a pitcher, watching the game and listening to you guys with my phone. It has an FM chip in it. Really? A chip or chirp? Because, you can just go to our website and listen to it with an app, and then it's always clear. But hey, whatever works for you, man.
I know that some people that have the FM chip in their phone, it uses less battery than streaming. So they just do it that way.
Smart person right there. Fish Tank says, my feed of the game is frozen, so I'm still here, fellas. Oh my God. Really, Fish Tank? That would just drive me to like throwing things. That would make me upset. Kind of like the Sunday Ticket when it got all glitchy over the weekend. I'm yelling at kids, get off the internet. Big George says 3 pitches into the game already. And Arizona Diamondbacks bullpen is warming up to relieve Mantiply. This is really going to be a bullpen game. Oh, no. I don't even have any of this up right now. I got to give out candy to all the little kids out there when they come by. So I'm going to have my laptop with the game on it as I sit there by the front door. And I'm going to give out giant handfuls of candy. My house, see, my wife doesn't even know this. My house is the house that all the kids love because I give tons of candy so we run out faster. That's what I do.
Oh, smart.
What's the problem with Mantiply? There's nobody on base, and he's got...
no, there is no problem. It's just that they know he's only going to pitch a couple of innings probably, and then move on to the next guy, and we're just gonna go through the whole bullpen.
George, you know, when I see a text like that, it makes me think something
that's what
happened.
I flipped over the channel because I was like, oh no, it sounded like Joe Mantiply gave up 6 runs already. And then you get over there and you're like, oh, it's a bullpen game. We just mean the thing that we already talked about.
As is often told to George, what the hell is wrong with you? Don't do that.
Wording, George. It does matter. Please.
I thought, oh crap, here we go.
Begging you, my friend. Random
texter says, hey, Jeffrey, all is well. I'm still listening and you're doing great. Thanks for I appreciate the pep talk. Tiger Paw says, so you're tailoring the rest of the show for us. That she spelled it like Taylor Swift. No, Tiger Paws. We're not going there. Although they did, the Broncos did Kelsey dirty. They were playing Shake It Off really loud at the end of the game. And here's the thing that has just sort of killed me about this. I am so sick to death of what they're doing to Travis Kelce. What I mean is they're putting up stats with Taylor Swift in attendance, without her in attendance. And they're it's like, come on, he is probably one of the best tight ends of all time. He is a Hall of Famer the minute he's done. Mm-hmm. He's in the Hall of Fame.
First ballot.
No discussion. I don't even need to tell you this. So for them to minimize him by talking about Taylor Swift, blah, 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 I get it. It was cute. But now it's insulting, I think, to Travis Kelce to say, well, see, because she wasn't there. Travis Kelce isn't good without her. Travis Kelce has been playing and won he's won 2 Super Bowls already before Taylor Swift knew he existed.
And it's
shut up.
Yeah. And it's distinctly possible that when he's done playing football, he will have every tight end record, which you can only do if you've been good at football for a real long time. I don't know. I agree with you. It does feel a little disrespectful to Kelce because it's just one of these things that's just popped up this season. And for better or for worse, the NFL is trying to use the Taylor Swift stardom to attract more casuals. That's what they want. And so that's the kind of stuff that they have to put out there to keep the casuals interested. And I don't know that works for me, but
there's a line where it becomes unfair to Travis Kelce, period.
And we've crossed it. We have crossed it.
And I'm sure at first he's like, okay, that's cute. Now he's just like,
every week, like you can go on Pro Football Reference and do different splits, teams home and away. How do they play? What are their numbers like when they have a lead going into the fourth quarter, when they're trailing? You have all of these splits, and they've just added on top of that Kelce with Taylor Swift in attendance, Kelce without, and it's just useless. It's useless information. It doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, it's minimizing the astounding accomplishments of Travis Kelce, if you ask me. McMama says, reminds me of the Jessica Simpson curse when she was dating Tony Romo. Here's the thing, though. Tony Romo jumped off that ship in a fairly quick fashion once he realized what he was in for. He dodged that bullet pretty damn well, I think. They talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't as big a deal as this Taylor Swift stuff.
Yeah, no, this is crazier than that was then.
Although she also, I believe, has become a billionaire. Jessica Simpson, through her own ways, clothing line or something. I don't know what the hell she does, but she's
probably
a billionaire.
Clothes and makeup and perfume and all that kind of jazz.
Taylor Swift became a billionaire this year for touring. That's it. Touring made her a billionaire. We should go on tour. Jesus Christ. Ram the Texter says, Tony Romo dodged the Jessica Simpson bullet. Nick Lachey took it, got it right in the middle of the eyes. Yeah, it did him in, didn't it? It did. Niner 1680 says, can we trade Matthew Perry for Taylor Swift? I don't think it works that way. That's my answer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speculate my preference, to be honest. I'm just going to move on. Baker's Cocky Hen says only one person picked Cleveland to beat the Niners the week before, and that ended up winning Baker's Cocky Hens a jersey. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? I wish you had told me that. That is interesting. By the way, yeah, my whole point to even starting this conversation now that we are 14 minutes in was Beer Nuts with a Z got 15 right, and he won the jersey this week. Here's the rundown for us on the show. I got 12 right. Keon got 12 right. So well done. I got 77 overall. Keon has 71. Randy always, he's just not great at picks. He's got 9 right, and he's got 53
I think
far.
Randy goes with whatever his gut first tells him, and then that's it. Like, he's not.
I don't think he has the attention span. I think he starts and then just stops and just walks away. I think, and he's probably good and liquored up when he fills it out too.
Yeah, and I don't think it bothers him at all. But it's so if he's
For
happy,
him, 9 is not bad. He actually had a pretty good week for his picks. Ralph and Ron, not as good. 10 right for both of them. And so now I got 77. Radio Ron has 72. Ralph has dropped to 70. You've got 71, so at least you're still beating Ralph.
I'm ahead of Ralph, yeah, because we were tied last week.
I won't embarrass Randy by saying his out loud again. So there you go. By the way, here's the top of the top in the Harmon Solar NFL Fan Pick'em standings. Choro has 83. So does Bacher, 44, the guy who won the jersey last week. So neck and neck halfway through. Remember, guys, this goes all the way through the Super Bowl. So it is still anybody's
wide open. Yeah.
Yeah. Shooter McGavin's got 81. Germ is good 20, has 80. So does Why Not. He Hate Me Now has 79. So does Arizona Viking. Holden 53. Kyle G, Raven Kid, Raider Royce. They round up the top 10 with 78. So I'm kind of close to the top 10. I got with my 77. But I just, I don't know. I don't know if, usually, I won this damn thing. Or I was right up there. This year, I'm just trying to get in the top 10. To me, if I finish the year in the top 10, then I'm just like, all right, that was cool. I came back from a week where I had 3 right.
Yeah, which I also had 3 right last week too. That was brutal.
Are you just copying my picks? Because what's up with you having the same number?
Well, that's the thing is I don't know because I don't think we picked the same things. Like, I know we've disagreed on the show, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, we probably got it wrong differently, but with the same stuff. Fubar 1000 says, I'm doing my own pick'em contest. I'm 100%. I pick after the games are played, and it works every time.
Well, there you go.
Congratulations, Fubar.
It won't win you anything, but if it brings you that sense of satisfaction that you need, go
it's
for
like
it.
People who cheat playing solitaire.
Like, why would you do?
Congratulations. Thundar Santa Barbarian says, yeah, Jeffrey, if you take Daily Blender on tour, you guys would be thousandaires for sure. He says, I'd be in the crowd, though. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So that'll be $1,000, please. It's the only way it's going to work. Bruno Baller says, Jessica Simpson is also raking in the cash from royalties from That 70s Show reruns. Wait, what? How does she do that? She wasn't on that show.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. I know I didn't watch a lot of That 70s Show, but
was she on there?
I don't remember her being on there.
I think he's just making stuff up. Although Baker's Cocky Hen says, Jessica Simpson, though. She was hot at one point, though, right? Taylor Swift, she's always been kind of meh. It's not about what you think. It's about what the teenage girls think. Just saying. Just Another Face in the Crowd says, you have to admit, Play and Shake It Off after that game was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, but then you're kind of like, what did Kelsey didn't deserve that? And would it bother him to hear his girlfriend singing Shake It Off? Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they probably did it for any Chiefs fans in attendance. I don't think they did it specifically for Kelsey.
That shouldn't bother anybody. Swuzman, it is dirty. Swuzman says, hey, Keon, we're battling each other this week in League 2 fantasy football. I hope you lose. Ha, ha, ha. Dobbs was good. They just wanted to get rid of him so they wouldn't embarrass number 1 Kyler Murray by not letting him play. I don't believe that.
Because they could just play. They could play Kyler whenever. You didn't need to trade Josh Dobbs for any of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the guy that actually makes the most money that plays that position. That's why we're playing him. And who'd argue with you?
Or at least we're showcasing him because future thing.
But that's the reason you can give the public, and like no one could say like that would be the least suspicious thing you could do.
Baker's cocky hens, he's making all sorts of connections. He's like, nah, Jessica Simpson was on that 70s show. She was in a handful of episodes. Kelso met her at the beach after a Cali road trip. And so then he's like, and by the way, Kelso is greater than Kelsey at tight end. I don't think so. Unless you mean something else by tight end. I'm moving on. Bruno Baller says, yeah, Jessica Simpson did have a brief role during the Ashton Kutcher, whatever his name, dating him. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I'm sure she probably made 82 cents from it in residuals because of how bad they're shaking down the actors. That's why the actors are still on strike, by the way. The writers are back, but the actors are still striking. So they're getting hosed over streaming stuff.
There's streaming stuff, and then there's also some AI stuff of like, what if we just body scan you and then just plop you in different movies? Which people are like, yeah.
Did you see that? Rosalie posted up. Somebody tried to get her likeness and voice, and she says, so I get residuals for this? They're like, no, it's a one-time thing. And she's like, nope, I ain't doing that. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
You just took away my everything, my essence, my brand, my face, and my voice. And so good for her for sorting it out and standing up to it. But that is the direction things could be going. Baker's cocky heads, he's still on the 70s show comparisons. He says Hyde equals Deshaun Watson. Yes, you are absolutely right. Only no, I think Hyde might be worse than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. I read some of that stuff the other day. No. Mm-mm.
Just another face in the crowd says, hey, I found Waldo at the game. You didn't send a picture, so I don't know.
Like, is it a literal guy named Waldo? Is it a guy dressed like Waldo from the puzzle thing?
You have my attention. I just don't know what you're doing.
Because how could you prove that you found it? You didn't take a picture.
Before we go to break, one more thing, because nobody's listening, but I'm going to say it out loud. We have two teams undefeated right now in all of the Daily Blender fantasy football leagues. Two teams. No one else has reached this point. In League 5, it's the Scoldgers. Yeah, that's right. It's Skull. And then in League 14, Turned Up for Tua. So those are the only two teams left undefeated in the Daily Blender fantasy football leagues. It wins you nothing, but it's impressive. So I'm announcing it. Got to take a break. We'll come back, and I don't know what we're going to do because the World Series is on, so we're just screwing around. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
Overnight news in the NBA is All-Star guard James Harden has been traded by the Philadelphia 76ers to the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, he'll be joined by Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and Russell Westbrook. The Clippers are now plus 700 to win the Western Conference behind Denver, Phoenix, and Golden State. They are plus 1,300 to win the NBA championship. The Celtics are the favorites to win the title at plus 370, Milwaukee plus 410. Denver, who won last year's NBA title, plus 500, and the Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant plus 600. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This year, Staples wants everyone to have a happy Holla Deal. That's right, Holla Deal. Staples Holla Deals are amazing savings on hot holiday tech. Great prices on laptops, game systems, earbuds, and more. And now at Staples, you can save up to $300 on select PCs. During Staples Holla Deals, it's not about the fa-la-la. It's about saving moolah-la. Save up to $300 on select PCs today at Staples. Ends 11/11 in store only. See associate for details.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Looking to buy a home or investment property? Maybe you've been thinking about an Airbnb or have kids going to college. Well, let me help you pay the tuition. Few agents know real estate like the team at A2 Luxury Real Estate. We are agents, investors, appraisers, and finance pros. We can help you find a home that delivers value and results. Call us at 602-888-1433 to discuss your options. That's 602-888-1433. Realty One Group.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce Drew brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at gculopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
Danny Blender here on 1580. The Fanatic, still no score between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. Christian Walker's up the bat, so here's open. Hey, look, we got somebody on base on Kettle Metal. Pink Eye wants to know, can we ignore the kids trick-or-treating because we're listening to the show? Dude, there's still light outside. They shouldn't be trick-or-treating this early. 5:26? Yeah, you should just ignore them because it's too early for that nonsense. You know? What are you doing? You're not supposed to trick-or-treat till after dark, right?
That's typically how it works. How will you trick anybody if they can see you coming?
So that's aggravating if people show up when it's daylight out. You know? Oh, we're just trying to be safe. It's Halloween. It ain't supposed to be something safe. It's supposed to be scary. And if you can't do it, you can't nut up and get out there when it's dark. Don't come to my door when it's light. Don't come to my door when it's light. I'd ignore them, Pink Eye, at least till it's dark. After that, that's up to you. I don't know that I would, just because what they might do to the house. It's another reason I like to give out big handfuls of candy. So they love the house. And then, then I can turn off the light and go back. I'm just saying, you give enough big handfuls of candy, then they will also protect your house.
That's a good point. It's a very good point.
That's probably not true.
I don't know, but there has to be some appreciation there.
I'd like to believe it's true, but so far haven't been hit. So yeah, Pink Eye, you do you, man, but there might be consequences. Random texter says moms like to bring toddlers before it's dark. But you know what? No, if you can't walk, you can't handle dark, you don't get candy. Don't come to my door before it's dark. I will scream this at a 3-year-old if I have to.
I think that's
I won't
fair.
yell at the parents. I'll yell at the kid. Get out of here. I'll scare the poo-poos out of this little kid. And they won't want to come back out again until they're older. You know why I know this? Because it happened to me. It didn't happen to me in the daytime. When I was 4 years old, my grandma decided to take me trick-or-treating, right? Just me and grandma. First house we went to, I'm in my little teddy bear cat costume, and I'm like, I get up to the door, ding, ding. First house. This is in Colorado. First house, bing, boom. Door flies open. This guy in a skeleton costume. Grandma says I levitated off that stoop. It was at an actual stoop and hit the sidewalk already running towards home. And I was like, I'm done. God bless her. She went around trick-or-treating for me. So she's following.
What a lovely woman. Yeah.
It's just for my grandson. We got the crap scared out of him. So, it's his birthday too. So, it was a couple years before I went back out again. I'm like, oh, hell no.
I don't know if I can blame you.
It wasn't about candy. It was about crap in my pants. Come on, man. So anyways, I get it.
So it'll work.
I get why you want that. I get why they want to do it before it's dark. But no. And this trunk or treat bull crap. You put on the outfit, you go door to door when it gets dark.
I agree.
We have to keep some things sacred.
That has to be one of them.
Halfy Lefty says Jeffrey must be Red Sun Superman. It sounds a little cranky. No, I'm not cranky. I'm just passionate about this day. And nobody should be showing up my door before dark. Bruno Baller says, well, I grew up in the Midwest. So, it's dark at 4:30 this time of year. Yeah, you get out of school and it's dark enough. So yeah, you go when it's dark. If it's dark at 4:30, go at 4:30. I'm not telling you about the clock. I'm telling you about if it's dark or not. It ain't trick-or-treating until it's dark. Tiger Paws says, I don't know. When I was a kid, we started trick-or-treating as soon as we got home from school, changed our clothes and hit the road. Yeah, but you can't, you didn't go when it was light outside though, did you? Random Texter says, Jeffrey, just curious, what did you say to all the people who want to move the Halloween to the last Saturday in October instead of keeping it on the 31st? Well, as somebody with a birthday on the 31st, I don't mind. See, being a pale kid, growing up in a pale state, because I lived in Colorado, then we lived in Oregon, before I got here as a teenager, I was pale. And so I got look, he's a little Casper, the friendly ghost. Look at him, he's so pale. He's like a little goblin. Shut up. I hated that crap. I heard all the jokes. Spare me. Heard them all. So if my birthday suddenly wasn't on Halloween, I'm okay with that.
That makes sense.
But, whatever. I got through it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should it be on the last Saturday? I think it should, because then you don't have to worry about running home from work. You don't have to worry about the next day. Grown-ups like to have Halloween. And of course, you don't got to do it on actual Halloween. That's what happens. But I don't know. I'd be okay with it. I know some purists probably don't like that. Jiggy says, as someone else whose birthday is on the 31st, I don't care either. See? We're okay with it, but we're also used to it. So if you leave it, fine. Whatever works, man. Kiss the Cook says, when I lived in Cali, we had a guy in the neighborhood that would squirt goat milk on us when we were in his yard. That seems like that should be illegal.
That just seems, like wrong. Somehow wrong. That it was specifically goat milk is also weird. I can't say why. I don't know why. It just feels weird.
I feel like if you squirt me with goat milk, that's more evil than cow milk.
100%.
Just
people like cow milk. What am I supposed to do with this?
Baker's Cocky Hen says, these kids are soft these days. I saw a 5-year-old trick-or-treating with the sun still out, and they had the nerve to have an adult with them. Well, no, you should definitely these days have an adult.
5? Yeah, no, that's
another reason it should be after dark. They all have adults with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Unless they're, old to the point where you're like, should you be here? Should you be here if you're that old?
Yeah.
Fubar 1000 says, what's scary? Mahomes only posted 5 points. Are you kidding me? In fantasy football, is that true?
I thought I was having a bad day with Lamar at 15, but that's so much worse.
Halfy Lefty says, goat milk. Oh, those kids must have been very bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a penalty. We're going to go ahead and blow the whistle on Hefty Lefty. 2 minute. Fish Tank says, my generation was actually big on rollerblades. No matter where we were, it was on blades. So we try to get as many houses as possible. I'm not even mad about that. If you show up at my door, but what were you, like a vampire on rollerblades? A cowboy on rollerblades? That I'm not mad about that.
It's actually kind of hilarious no matter which version, no matter what thing you are. If you put it on rollerblades, it's kind of funny.
Just the fact you incorporated wheels into it. And yes, I bet you did. You probably cleaned up on Halloween. Sheer speed. Today is not just Halloween. It's also National Knock Knock Joke Day.
Oh.
And if you don't want to knock, it's also National Doorbell Day. I'm not making this up. It's true. I don't care. You can do ding dong, who's there? Same thing. And as a knock knock joke.
I guess
so if you want to make
sense,
your knock knock joke a doorbell joke to just be in modern times, okay. Do you know who the original, at least as far back as we know, had knock knock humor?
No, I don't. I don't. And are
you there?
I am here. I lost you there for a second.
Am I breaking up?
You're not. You just kind of vanished.
Oh,
and now you're back, and you're frozen on the Zoom. So, yeah. So I don't know what hiccup happened there, but I was waiting for you to tell me about who had knock knock jokes as far back as we know. Then I didn't hear anything, and I still don't hear anything. And
I'm here.
There you are.
What the hell was that? Where did you lose me?
Right before you were going to tell me who. All the way back there. Yeah. Who had knock knock jokes as far back as we know?
Wow. Am I clear now, or am I still?
No, you were clear before. You were clear. You were just gone when you were gone.
I think somebody must have done something, because my wife came in, looked at me, and then she left. Like, I think somebody knocked out my internet for a second. All right. So William Shakespeare in Macbeth has a monologue delivered by the porter in which he uses the famous line, knock, knock, who's there? It's not a joke, but it's part
it is
of the play.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
William Shakespeare. Earliest variation of knock, knock joke back in the 1900s. Do you want to hear it? Here it is. Here's how it works. It's not knock, knock. For back then in 1900, Merely McAvoy would say, do you know Arthur? And then somebody'd say, Arthur who? And they'd say, our thermometer.
Oh, boy.
It wasn't funny.
No.
Then in 1929, in a book called Games of Children, that was the first time we saw an actual knock, knock joke. And here it is. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Buff.
Buff who?
It's not actually, they would say back then, what says Buff? And then they'd say, Buff says Buff to all his men. And I say Buff to Hugh again.
Man, I am missing the context and the culture that's
hoping for funnier in 1929.
Because 1929 is not that far from where we are now.
But the kids loved it. That's all I know.
Okay, fair enough.
So then in the 30s, here was the modern form. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Rufus.
Rufus who?
Rufus, the most important part of your house.
That is true. That is true.
Still not funny.
Still not funny, but it's I understand that one. The Buff one, I'm lost completely.
The only funny knock joke is interrupting cow, I think.
Yeah.
You know how that goes? It's like knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo!
Yeah, that's true. I love that one.
That was it. The rest of them are just dumb as hell, and that one was pretty dumb too.
Yeah. The orange, you glad I didn't say banana, drives me insane. I don't actually enjoy that one.
People, when I see it, I walk away. I don't care if you're 3 years old. You're not funny. And somebody in 2015 broke a world record. Alex and Andrea Rose from Texas. They broke the world record for most knock knock jokes told in 1 minute, 24. None of them were probably funny.
Well, I don't think they could be. If you were telling that many knock knock jokes, we already know the quality of knock knock jokes. Not great. You're just doing rapid fire at that point. That has nothing to do with whether or not people are laughing.
If somebody comes up to you, if a kid comes to you and says, knock, knock, you just grab them, throw them down, go, FBI! What's going on?
Oh, man.
It's a no-knock warrant. Get down. Get down on the ground.
Don't worry, you'll get it when you're older.
thought we were going to talk about the NBA.
We had planned that. Also, Rangers up 1-0.
Sons of bitches. That just happened, didn't it?
Yeah, top of the second. There's 2 on.
Oh, now it's 3-0.
We've already relieved Man Supply. Okay, I just saw the third run, so there that goes. Ooh, there goes Jankowski. That's bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, Seaman tripled the left, and then
it's just the bullpen days always scare me, and this is why. This is exactly why.
Wonder if people are going to come rushing back to the phone.
It's like, actually, we don't want to watch that anymore. It's not as fun as we thought it was going to be.
Well, when we come back, let's talk a little bit about the Suns, a little bit about the NBA, and we'll get the hell out of here. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, bag boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys, bag boys.
U.S. price participation may vary. Includes choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nugs, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball is back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. And with DraftKings parlays, everyone's got a shot at even bigger basketball wins. String together multiple bets from the same game or build your parlay across multiple games for a shot at making your payday even sweeter. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BET1580. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting $5 only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BET1580. The crown is yours.
21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Junior or high school football players, unlock your full potential at a new football camp coming to Phoenix this January. 2 days of high energy, laser-focused, position-specific coaching, all by NFL veterans. Improve your game by learning the drills and techniques the pros use. January 27th and 28th at Horizon High School. Register now and get 25% off. Go to championscollective.com. Use promo code Phoenix. Champions Collective Football Camps, elevating your game. Go to championscollective.com.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training, they'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Glendale Mullet is on the text line. Says the hardest thing about learning how to rollerblade. I can't do this joke. I can't do it. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Oh no, God no.
Two more runs.
Yeah. Okay, well, second inning is not going well for the Diamondbacks.
We should have backed down from Corey Seager. We talked about that not that long ago. A guy on base, and up comes Corey Seager. Just make that 2 guys on base and see what you could do after that. because he just smashed a homer right away.
All of this has happened while they're sitting there with 2 outs.
Mm-hmm. They've gone through 2 pitchers now.
Hey, Keon.
Yeah.
Stop telling me things.
I'm sorry. It's
Don't
just
start telling me
I
things.
assume people driving around want to know. Maybe you don't. Let me know if you don't, so I can stop.
So tonight is kind of a big deal. The Suns are hosting the San Antonio Spurs. It'll be one of the first looks you get to see of Wembanyama, or Wemby as they call him. How's he been doing so far?
He's been good. He's been good. I mean, his first game was really rough, which I think you expect. He's a rookie, had some welcome to the NBA moments, but he's a skilled player who's gigantic. Like it's just like there's just certain times where he can make a rookie mistake and he can recover from it because he's so huge. What do? You know, like people put a hand in his face to stop him from shooting, but his arms just go above you so that you can't block him ever. Like if that guy becomes the kind of player that we think he's going to be, and he is big, so like you always have to worry about injury because big guys just have that. But if he can stay healthy and become a more polished player, I honestly don't know how you're supposed to stop that human being. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. You know, listen, it's going to be another game without Bradley Beal and Devin Booker, but Phoenix still favored on this one at 6.5 because just getting Wemby doesn't solve all your problems for the Spurs. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the kid play. So I'm going to make sure I'll be watching the Diamondbacks, but I can make sure I tune in a little bit to see just how he does. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, I was the guy from Tales from the Crypt on rollerblades. I was Ghostface from Scream on rollerblades. So that actually works. That does work.
That's also kind of scary if you're just like walking down the street and then you see Ghostface just rolling up behind you.
That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah. Thundar San Barbarian says, if a vampire shows up while the sun is still up, he ain't scaring nobody. That costume sucks in the daylight. Or doesn't suck in the daylight, actually. It is very much not in character. Oh, and those people who want to keep Halloween on the 31st, they're messing with Jeffrey's internet right now. That could have been that. Yeah, that could have been somebody out there pulling my plug. I think it's dark out there now, isn't it? Dark enough, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it is here, but depends on the side of the building I'm on, I guess.
Bruno Baller says Diamondbacks have the Rangers right where they want them. You know what, though? Think about this. If the Diamondbacks come back and win this game after a 5-run second inning, this could be pretty epic. And it's early. It's early.
Yeah.
So
you can
back your
away
way out of this.
And the Diamondbacks aren't a team that swings for the fences anyway. I mean, they play really good small ball. So that is, to me, like that's the thing that can get them back into any game. They're not really out of anything. So
right.
Yeah, rooting for him.
Not gonna call it a game just yet. Not this early. So hang in there, guys. Kiss the Cook said, "Yep, whatever he or she said." Okay, 888-368-1580. We haven't had a chance yet to talk about the James Harden going to the Clippers trade. Huge trade. So here's how this whole thing works. 76ers sent Harden, PJ Tucker, and Flip to the Clippers. And they got Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, and KJ Martin. A 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and a 2029 pick swap, and an additional first-round pick from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Holy crap, is Harden worth that? Clippers are sending a 2027 first-round pick swap to Oklahoma City, clearing the way for the Thunder to move the protected 2026 first-round pick to the 76ers, and the Clippers are sending a 24 and 29 second-round pick to the... This is making me dizzy.
Yeah.
Sixers are waiving Danny Green to make roster space for this giant mess of a trade. All right. So I guess the only thing that really matters is, okay, so what are we talking about the Clippers here? Is this now super duper effing scary? Or is it just the Clippers again?
I don't want to say it's just the Clippers again, but it's not scary. And it's not scary because James Harden can't help them. He can. and he will. It's not scary because you're adding James Harden to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and they're never healthy. And they haven't played, more than I think 2/3 of a season, either of them, at any point that they've been Clippers. It's just they should have already had more success than they've had. They just can't stay healthy. So I do think that having James Harden gives you a guy that will stay on the court. James Harden does play a lot of games when he wants to be there. So, you have that person, and you have someone you can put alongside Russell Westbrook, who already understands how he plays and understands how he works. So you're just adding to your talent of stars. And then you at least have Westbrook and Harden if Paul George and Kawhi can't be ready. And then if they are, well, then you have 4 really good players, and maybe you can make a run. And I think that that's what that helps the Clippers get, because I don't think that it makes them scary if you have to rely on Paul George, who's just not there all the time, and Kawhi, who's there even less.
Kiss the Cook says, is the NFL NBA trade deadline on the same day? No. It's just coincidental that this happened today.
NBA trade deadline's in February.
It's going to be a while, Kiss the Cook. All right, so there you go. You got James Harden with Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and others. So, okay.
Now, is this going to be enough to make, Joel Embiid happy? Because that's the other issue that the Sixers have, is Daryl Morey made it very clear he didn't want to make a trade for James Harden if he was going to be knocked out of finals contention. But they are now. Like, they're worse now. They got a bunch of picks, so they'll be fine in the future. But right now, they are worse. So what do you do with Joel Embiid if he looks at this and goes, okay, you guys aren't trying to win anything. You didn't get me any help this year. In fact, any help that I did have, I now don't have. Like PJ Tucker, who is our main defender, our 3-and-D guy. Oh, he left with James. He's a Clipper now too.
888-368-1580. So there's 2 outs on the Diamondbacks already, but we got a guy on base, and it's just Thomas. Okay, Thomas is up to bat.
Everybody says that. Like, that's just the most disappointment of just like, we know we're getting that out, Thomas. I did see the Waldo guy, by the way.
Oh yeah, they showed him.
Yeah, he was. He's standing over. I can't tell whose dugout that is.
Behind is it behind the backstop or over the dugout?
He's over the dugout.
I guess we should do this. I'm ready. Are you ready? It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1950, Earl Lloyd, a forward drafted out of West Virginia State University, became the first African-American player to play in the NBA in a game when he makes his debut with the Washington Capitals. Hey, isn't that your team? Kind of? Is it the same as the... No, that's the name of them. Are they still the Capitals?
Yeah.
They were the Bullets, and then they... Are they...
Well, no,
right?
okay, hold on. I'm confusing all my teams now because you got the Nationals, the Capitals, and the Capitals, Bullets, Wizards, I guess.
Oh, so they were the Capitals, then they were the Bullets, and then they're Wizards.
Yeah.
Is it the same team that's been there this entire time since 1950, or did it come and go? You know,
no, that's the same team.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this version of the Capitals folded 9 weeks later, and then Lloyd spent the next 7 years with the Syracuse Nationals, who then became the Philadelphia 76ers. So I guess this first version of a Washington basketball team disintegrated and then got reconstituted with something else. Anyway, this guy was 6'6" tall, and he helped lead West Virginia State to an undefeated season in 1948. He helped lead the Syracuse Nationals to the 55 NBA championship. So, even though the Washington Capitals couldn't hang in there, he sure did and got himself a ring. So after his basketball career, this guy was awesome. He worked as a job placement administrator for the Detroit public school system, and he taught job skills to underprivileged kids. So hell of a career in the NBA. And he went on to do great things to help make lives different. And he passed away back in 2015, 86 years old. So he won at every angle of life, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A nice long life where people are going to remember you for being a truly good person. And then you get to be a champion on top of that. Not bad.
Kiss the Cook has an idea. He says, why don't the Suns trade our center in cash for Embiid and pick up Green? What do you think?
So trade Nurkic and cash for Joel Embiid.
How much cash gets the cook?
Because you have a salary cap, cash doesn't really help you in the NBA too much. Can make a contract kind of match up. Yeah. So just are we doing that?
Let's forget the cash part, but
Daryl Morey would go down as the worst general manager in the history of sports if he did that. He's not doing that.
Baker's cocky hen says, no, this is a brilliant idea.
Okay.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Now, I understand that Matt Ishbia is a billionaire. However,
sure, that'd be the end of it.
You wouldn't have any more. You're just having $1 billion of liquid cash. Like, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's fair to ask your team's owner to acquire one player.
I like your thinking, Kiss the Cook, because anything that makes the Suns better, I'm all for. Would Joel Embiid and Green make the Suns better?
I mean, Joel Embiid would make anybody better.
How about Green? Do we need Green?
Danny Green? No, I don't think so. I mean,
listen,
he's good.
Kiss the Cook is right. We have an owner. He'll write the check. He's probably standing. He has a check in his hand on a pen. He's like, "What do you need? Is this? Should we do this?
I don't know if the billion's going to happen, but he would probably write whatever.
Well, that was just Baker's cocky hens being a wise ass.
Okay, fair enough. But he would write whatever check would be necessary to make that happen. Just the other guys, the Sixers, wouldn't do it.
Big George is on the text line wringing his hands about what's happening. He says, well, let's hope the Diamondbacks can come back in this game.
Well,
but I'm not hopeful. This loss will be on Torey Lovello for his awful managerial decision to bring in Gas Can Castro in a high-pressure situation.
I mean, if it's a bullpen game, you got to work with the bullpen that you got. Big George, you're off the hook. If the Diamondbacks don't come back, we know it's not you.
I think he'd rather it been him.
I do think so too.
Win.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. My wife sees Castro and she's like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Oh no. He did all right yesterday.
Yeah,
so.
in certain spots he can do well, but when you're going to ask him to get you out of a jam in an inning where you've got guys on base and there's 2 outs, you're going to be stuck on that last out. You are.
Well, we got Nelson pitching, and let's say we got 6 more innings to make something happen with some bats. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Happy Halloween, and we will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.